Yeah. Okay, let's see. Mm. Ooh, it looks like it's working. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, let me just. Perfect, it's working. Hey guys, it's Kim. So sorry for the beginning. We started a bit late. We're trying to figure out the how to set up everything. But yeah, so I'm here with K and M Live here for a live stream. So you guys can introduce yourself or say something
Oh yeah.
for everyone.
Well, as you know, we came in live. Kim here. I guess a bit of history. She hey, what's up, man? uh, she had made a very very good video. One of her first couple videos when she started her channel, and it came across our feed because I think kind of we watched probably similar the same stuff.
Mhm.
So we reacted to it, and here we are. You know, and basically got
Yeah.
a good relation going on. But for the most part, guys, we're a reaction channel. Real name's Kevin,
Nelson.
and basically, we've been on YouTube since we started our channel November 2023, but we didn't actually post our first video until like June 25th, and then recently just got monetized January 19th. So hard work, I
Congrats.
feel like pays off. Wait, can they hear the sound effect? I just thought about that.
Yeah, I hear it. I was
Oh,
like, oh my god.
oh, okay. I didn't know on the stream if they could hear it or not. But
Yeah.
for the
Yeah,
most part,
so
yeah, we just react to like societal stuff and typically stuff that I feel like average guys can relate to. We're I wouldn't say we're like blue collar or whatever, but
they're
I guess
asking
we
where you guys are from.
Oh, from
Nashville,
Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, the country town.
So as I see, there's a bit of a delay within the live, but that's fine. I'll check like once in a while the chat. So appreciate you guys here tuning in. So yeah, so the topic of today is dating and marriage. So just like a general topic about dating and marriage. So we're gonna like talk about different things. Um, so I had some questions here for you guys because basically I wanted to know, guys' perspective. Because on my channel, I'm just there like blabbing my mouth, but it's like what I think. It's always I'm like, okay, this is my opinion. It's not like like this is the absolute truth. So I'm always open to hearing different perspectives. So, okay, let me know if the audio is too loud because I see people saying that my ears. Is my audio okay? Is it too
Uh,
loud?
I guess it may slightly be it's
yeah.
loud, but I don't think it's on my end. I don't think it's that bad, but it might be different for others.
Yeah, yours is pretty loud, louder than Kevin's. You guys are not using the same.
Okay, hold on.
I don't know what's going on.
Speakers
Kevin
is on.
sounds like yours is like very far from.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
check it out. Yeah. So let's
What
see
was it
who's coming
saying?
in.
Audio. Yeah.
Okay, audio's fine. At least
Oh yeah,
everybody
it's
can
just
hear
fine.
us.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay. So, where do you guys want to get started on in this live? I'll let you guys like start it out.
Well, since we're talking about marriage, guys, um, a few things that I wanted to say about it. I guess I could kick it off a little bit. So we're kind of here to talk about marriage, and obviously we're kind of all in the same age group. Shout out to the '90s kids. I gotta give that. Yeah, we
Mhm.
made it, y'all.
Yeah.
Another year close to 30. You feel me? So basically, I want to talk about how like there's been like a generational shift especially for both men and women, about how they should look at marriage. Because I'm pretty sure both of us, I mean, all of us here, we have friends that are married and we have friends who are not married. And I wanted to talk about like why I feel like getting married too early. But that was going to be my point. But I have multiple points, but this
Okay,
was what I
yeah,
was talking about.
I see.
What age do you feel like is appropriate to be married?
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, it really depends. Everybody has different lifestyles and different upbringings, and like they meet people, the right person at the right time at different like times in their life. So for sure, it's tough to know that. Like, what's the perfect age? But for sure, if you're thinking about like having a family and everything, you're gonna have to consider age, especially for the women. Um, but I have like a couple of questions before we get there. I just realized, yeah, I had like different questions, just like just to warm this up. So I have the first question here is, what do men look for though for marriage? Like, what do you think men actually look for when it comes to marriage to even get to that point? What do you think is something that women should know, um, that men look for to even get on one knee? You know what I mean? Do you have
Well,
an idea?
I, I will say one of the biggest first things is, even though I don't think everybody's gonna have a legacy, but there's a saying where they say every man should build a tree or write a book. I mean, build a tree and write a book, right? And the build a tree metaphor means that every guy should work towards a legacy. So
Hmm.
when we choose to get with a woman, it's like we planning to build something. We planning to like we're at a point in our lives where we feel like, okay, we're
Hmm.
done running around doing the crazy stuff. We want to actually be in a position to grow something, like
Yeah,
something
and
either outlives us or something
mhm.
along those lines.
And a lot of men these days, I've been seeing that even in my comments, they've been saying that there's no benefit for men to get married. Do you guys agree with that?
Oh, here we go. Oh man,
We're going straight into
right
the
into the
saucy
Bible.
questions. What do you guys
I'll
think
let you
about
go.
that?
Okay, so I think is this question is just certain based on well, the country and also the culture. And since we in
Mhm.
a and since we in a we since we are Americans, we in the United States, I think it based off of how the country is moved and how it's pushed. So obviously now, since everybody can work, everybody has their own sense of space and individualism, they're able
Mhm.
to provide for themselves and have their own money in order to do the things that they want to do. So it's not only a preference of can I find a girl, it's more or less of they can do things on their own. So it's the sense of they don't need a man per se. So when you're trying to find a woman, it's like, okay, since we're in a society where we can work and everything and do our own thing, it's about, okay, is she a good person? She's a person you can, I would say, coachable, and she's able to learn from you and able to listen, and also she's able to fend for herself in a sense where if something happens to me or things to work out, she won't be
Mhm.
destitute or be desperate on another relationship or you know
Mhm.
or in a place where she's going to find some type of difficulty. Now, since we already have this established, it's more about, okay, it's always
Sorry,
pushed
guys.
to women that, oh, they can do whatever they want, they don't need a man. It's always pushed down our throats every time. So it's not like,
What do you guys think marriage like, in what areas, and or why would marriage benefit men? Like, since a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it doesn't benefit men," like, you guys think that there are benefits for men being married?
I'll go first on that. My thing
Hmm.
is that I know it's funny that you asked. You said, "How does marriage benefits men?" I've had conversations, barbershop talk with other people like this, and they be like, "Why does this have to be a benefit? What about love? Love is first. Shouldn't be a benefit." But we know reality that, come on, y'all, like y'all can't be doing this. Y'all got to be trolling at this point. Y'all know it's more than that. But to go to the benefits, right? it keeps dudes from being promiscuous. It keeps dudes from having to go out and go find another body, go find somebody else to try and deal with and run game and do all this
I mean,
BS.
I don't know if it keeps them from doing that
But
because we
I'm
all
just
know.
saying, I'm just thinking from a guy's perspective. If a
I
guy,
guess it gives more responsibility, I guess, to the
yeah,
man where he's not focused on other
it
things or
keeps
doesn't
them
have
more stable.
time to.
To some guys, it keeps them stable. Not all guys, because there are guys who can do this by themselves, who can be disciplined by themselves. But there are some men, like I even have friends who were very chaotic before they got with their girl. Once they got with their girl, they calmed down. They stopped doing all the crazy stuff they used to do because now they realize their actions don't affect just them; it affects the girl and maybe if they had kids with them. You know,
Mhm.
the good ones. There's bad relationships in this mix too, but the good
Yeah.
ones typically they recognize, hey yo, I can't be out here running crazy like this. It's not given that they won't cheat on you. I'm not including those specific,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
thinking about like the like a good scenario.
yeah, the
So
general census reason,
yeah, like the point
and
of
to
it.
have kids, and obviously to have kids, to have a woman
Yeah.
to get down
So
with, you
so
know.
to add to that question, like what would you guys say to men to encourage them to wanting to get married? Because the thing I'm seeing these days a lot is that men are saying like there's no point to get married, like I don't want to get married. Other married men are saying that it's not worth it. um what's the point in it, so there a lot of people are just really like discouraged when it comes to the question of getting married. So like what is your position with that? Like what do you think? Um, yeah, so what do you think about that? Like, is there something that for you you're like, hey, getting married is necessary for a man because like, is there some things that you're like, apart from like not, you know, going out and trying to find or like keeping your focus on, let's say your family, is there something that can benefit the man himself, like his happiness, I guess, or his mental health, long term?
Well, the thing about it is like they say that married men live longer. Yeah, apparently that's a real statistic, but I mean I don't know how true that is. But I know they got to go through a lot of pain for that. I know that. But my thing is that when we talk about benefits, see, guys don't look at that. I don't feel like most guys look at it from that perspective. They look at it as I want to build something. I want to start a family. I
Mm-hmm.
want to start having people around me. Because a lot of guys, as much as God, people don't like to talk about it, but men breathe life into the world, right? Into things, into society. They build these structures, right? So when it comes to something as small as having a family, right, in marriage, in the sense, because you don't technically need the specific marriage, but they say marriage was created. It's not a natural thing apparently, but we're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna fall into this conspiracy thing. I'm just off of what you said.
Yeah.
My thing is that, like I said before, the benefits is I don't have, as a man, I don't have to go back out to the dating world, get ghosted, get abused, go through all the. I finally earned the one that I needed, and
Mm-hmm.
it's supposed to give me peace of mind to where now I got my woman at home. I can go 120% at work, business,
I see.
whatever it is that I'm doing. It
Mm-hmm.
gives us a peace of mind that we have somebody to come home to. And then if you add kids to the equation, your kids are going to be
You
waiting
have your
on you
children. Yeah.
and other stuff. So technically, that we would categorize it as a relationship, but we know that
Mhm.
they would prefer marriage. But this is where the conversation gets diluted. I see guys in the comments. I see y'all.
Yeah. Hey, I was thinking if at one point we should invite
The
people
thing
to.
about it is America monetizes everything, right? Everything's monetized. They could sell your bones if they wanted to. So even marriage is no exception to that. Marriage has become kind of like a business here. Like there's many businesses that were created off the premise of marriage. Diamond company, I mean ring companies, all these other stuff that are now going down because less and less dudes are wanting to get married because now they're seeing the fallacy of it. They're seeing like, oh, so I thought we were supposed to actually uphold these vows and like have God in our marriage and have religion and held us to these standards. But once you put government and money into it, that changes the whole conversation. So I'm not going to talk about the negatives first. I'm just talking about the positives. The positives is, like I said before, it keeps us from having to go out and spread our seed all over the place and stuff like that. I would say that would be the first couple benefits. You could add on to that.
Well, I just would say like another thing that it gives us a sense of motivation to become better because we already have our family put together, and we want to make sure we have that foundation be kept that way and further on. And also, as time goes on, when our kids get older, this is going to be like a turning point when like the kids are going to try to turn to us for advice and help in other avenues. And this is where you as the father can lead your children how to maneuver in certain situations, especially if you have a son, if he's going through like typical things kids go through like bullying or how to build something, how to go about other certain situations where that since you was a kid at his age, you know how to maneuver and also how to guide him into certain situations where he can able to be triumphant in this in his daily life.
Hmm. Shout out to your setup though. That is looking crisp, to be honest. I just had to say that because, guys, I'm gonna have to step up my game because this webcam is not it. But yeah, good points. Good points. So yeah, also on my channel, a lot of guys like talk. Okay, I'm asking you guys questions before we dive in because yeah, there's some questions I really needed some answers from a male's perspective. So it's like your opinion and whatever. Um,
Mhm.
so what I've been seeing is that like a lot of guys say it's like very hard these days to even date. So like what do you guys think are the struggles for men like in dating in America like right now, United States? Like the main struggles that men are facing.
Um, I think it's always the push of men having money and always splurging on her and doing her gifts and going on trips. I think it's just that they want a man to be a man and uphold the roles, and they want you just to have this certain area of just being responsible financially, but being a leader of nothing else. They have control of everything. And this is where we're going into the situation where that guys are always spending money or maybe tricking, and it's just that all the rest of the other aspects of it, she's the one who's controlling the relationship. She just wants you that for that specific role, and those things are not really reciprocated, and it feels like it's a one-sided relationship, and guys feels like they don't want to be used in that certain way. So that's what
Okay,
some guys may be hesitant to put forth into it. I mean, you may want to, but it's like, this is like a reoccurring pattern every time that I'm seeing with my friends and also with my dating life.
like that you feel like you have to do so much and then you might get ghosted or you might like it's a lot that you're investing to be dating, right? As a man,
And
what
the
they
part that
expect, right?
is
Hmm.
that basically women have a lot of options, more options than they did back in the day. And this is how I'm going to break it down. I have a pastor, a female pastor, like I'm Haitian, guy, by the way. So I have
Hmm.
a Haitian pastor who she talked about when she was growing up, she had three men to choose from in her hometown. She could only choose from those three men that she grew up with. She couldn't just go on her phone and go on Tinder, go on
Mm.
like, on a dating app or go on Instagram. So it's just kind of like women today have this illusion of options that they didn't have before. The women of back then didn't have before. But as guys, our options still stayed the same. What I mean by that is if you wasn't a dude getting it like that back then, like you was in school, you was super popular or college or you went out of town, a lot of people don't even leave their cities. They stay where they're at. But the thing is, even though they stay in their little town, guess what? Today you can get flown out. So today you could be talking to somebody way across the border. You couldn't do that about 10, 15 years ago. You couldn't do that. You would have to PayPal them. I mean, not PayPal. What's that? Where you send them a letter? Pen pal? Yeah, you'd have to send them a letter. So today it's just kind of like
There's a
girls
lot of options.
have a lot
Hmm.
of options, so they feel like you're replaceable. They're like, hey, if you won't do this, guess what? There's another dude who will. You know what I'm saying? So you're competing for basically. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. Let's just say you're competing a lot. You have a lot more competition for the same girl than you did back then. Back then she only had like a couple options, but today she has a lot more options. Same thing for us too. I mean, we could technically do the same thing, but since we're talking about the struggles of the man,
They just have a
what
bit
I'm
more
saying.
access since, you know, they're a
Yeah.
woman, you know,
Yeah.
they got more access.
Yeah, but like at the same time, I feel like men, it's like all about the options. Like this is the main thing, options, options, options. But for women, I feel like a lot of the women, they want, what they complain about is like they don't have the quality of the options. Like, because if you're like a beautiful girl or whatever you consider attractive on the scale of 1 to 10, whatever, and then, you know, she has options, it doesn't mean that she's attracting the guy that she would actually want. And if you're a beautiful girl, you get different guys, and different guys can put up a front, and then you can get played, you can get tricked into some weird situations where you're like, wow, this guy was just so perfect at first. And then, yeah, she had options, but it doesn't make it easier for her to find someone that's going to respect her, someone that's going to actually, like, especially when we're looking for girls that are actually looking to have something serious, like the good girl or whatever, that is actually trying to actually build something, get married and stuff like that. Sometimes that's the struggle that girl gets, because it's like, yeah, if you're an attractive girl, guys always say that they're going to shoot their shot even if they're not super attracted to a girl, because they just don't have options and they're just trying to, you know, because the options is such a big thing. But to someone that has options, then the hardest part is to filter out through the options. And sometimes they're not so good at that. And then they still get played, still get in weird situations, get with the guy that's like treats them bad, cheats, does all kind of stuff. And it doesn't even necessarily mean they're good looking, because a lot of girls get played by guys that they would consider, oh, I would never go for this guy, to be honest. You know what I mean? And then it's just a cycle. Then girls are complaining about guys that, you know, guys are all the same, and then guys are just like, okay, girls are doing this and that, and then it's just, I don't feel like options, like, it's cool because some guys, they say they have no options or options. So for them, it's like, if I can actually even just have a chance to like explore the dating, or like just to like have an experience, because a lot of guys, they've been saying like, I don't even have one experience that I can like, really like base my dating life on. Like, I get it, because you're like, okay, this guy, he's like they say, Chad, Tyrone, whatever, they're getting options and options and options, but a lot of the times, like, they don't even have it, like, they're single at the end of the day. And if you want to be playing and if you want to be sleeping around, then perfect. Like, if options is all you need to just be sleeping around, that's fine. But after a while, it's like you get tired of that, both women and men, and you want something that makes more like sense, like long term. Sometimes people, like, all their life, they can just be like, you know, I don't care. Like, no strings attached all the way, right? But these channels like this wouldn't exist if that was the majority of people, if people don't want to actually find someone. So that's my argument, that options doesn't always mean it's better, but you still have to be smart, like, with your options. If you have no options, I get it. Like, I get the frustration. But I don't know. What do you guys have to say to men that are like giving up on dating? Like, do you think it's something that you should be like, yeah, okay, give up? Or is there something that you have to say to men that are giving up in general?
I'll let you answer that one. I know you gotta.
Well. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm a firm believer as a dude. I believe in self improvement. I believe in it wholeheartedly, 100%. Self improvement as a dude is very important. Even if you gotta start slow and slowly build your way up. Because then when you get to the end, you're gonna realize it was all worth it, right? So when it comes to the dating thing, right? You know, I don't like how, even growing up, I did not like it. I didn't like how, I'm not even gonna say society. It makes me sound like I'm some kind of media pusher or something. Like, when I was growing up, right, dating, it wasn't really. We didn't really call it dating. It was just getting to know somebody. I know they call it courting and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you're, I'm gonna answer the question first. If you're giving up on it, I would say back away from it and improve on whatever it is that you want to improve on. Get more bread, get more whatever it is that you're in lack of. I do not believe you should be entertaining a relationships as a dude if you're not financially, mentally, spiritually in a place of comfort. Like where you're like, you know what, I can ride this out myself. If you can't think like that, or you feel like you need a partner, what they call it broke dating, you should be at a position where it's just kind of like, I'm comfortable with my life and I'm willing to bring somebody in it. If your life is erratic, you got issues, you got mental health, like you're seeking help through partners, you should not be doing that. You should be trying to go to a professional for that. Because a lot of people are doing that. They're lonely or they're just looking to attach to somebody. And like a friend of mine's grandma mentioned, she like, look, we was dating to survive, baby. We was trying to survive. We wasn't in love. We just wanted a place to stay. So you gotta understand that like a lot of people, especially in the economy we're in, they're desperate out here. Like you
Mm-hmm.
can't even maintain a one person household right now. Like you need to have a
Yeah,
roommate
it's tough.
or you need to have family, somebody. You need to have some type of partners, you know? You can't be just unless you're like a high earning dude, like for instance, like if you're like a network engineer, you're making like, I don't know, like 100, like you're 130, 140, you live in a good area. Good thing you better not lose that job. Hopefully you stacked up
Mm-hmm.
income for the next whole year of rent. So when you lose that job, you know, you don't mess up. But you see, a guy in a position like that, he can go date. He can go find. He can take his time to find somebody because he's comfortable. He's not in a rush for anything. I feel like if you're in a rush for it, that's a bad position to be in. Like you shouldn't have
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
because they're gonna recognize that desperation off of
You're
you.
gonna be
No matter
desperate.
if you're fat, ugly, skinny, muscular. I have a friend who's muscular and he still takes L's just like that because he
Yeah, so I'm
doesn't
saying.
have he gets to real a lot of guys like that have to realize we're not entitled to girls. We're not entitled to their attention to whatever they do. We're only entitled to ourselves, what we do. And if she wants to come along for it, then cool. If not, I'll go find the next one. And I feel like another thing is a lot of guys put all their hopes and dreams into one person. That's another mistake. Just because you're cool with her, you have good chemistry in bed with her, that does not make her a good lifetime partner. That's just somebody you cool with. That's not somebody you meant. That's not your wife. Basically, what I'm saying. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the mistake we make because society feels like, oh, you shouldn't be playing women. You shouldn't be doing. No, be honest. Be like, hey, I'm just taking my time right now. I'm just doing this, and we're getting to know each other. If you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to like push the narrative to like get, if you, I'm basically, if you're trying to force her to do the things that you're trying to do, you already at a deficit. She should naturally want to do that. I'm talking about from a guy's perspective. Like,
So I actually had a question because here in Canada and in my province, Quebec, it's not really common for people to get married that much, especially when you're born and when you're born here and you grow up. So there's like common law where you live with the person
mhm.
for 2 years. Like it's not a big deal if you're not married, but for sure there's different cultures here. People come with their cultures. Like let's say my parents are from the islands and whatever, but some people they still have their strict culture, even if they're born here and their parents like say, you need to get married. But a lot of people here believe that you don't need to get really like married, like on paper, but like, and that's fine. And they have children together, and like people are just okay. That's normal. But I realized, I don't know if it's just me, but in the USA, is it like very, I don't know, is there some place like that? Or it's really like, you should get married if
Yeah,
you're gonna be with someone, have kids, or you're seen, are you gonna be judged? Are you gonna be judged? Because a lot of people don't have the belief of the need, like they don't see the need to get married officially to prove anything. A lot of people would have that argument, like, but not everyone wants to get married, you know, and not everybody sees it the same or sees it that it's necessary. So what do you guys think about that?
There is common law states here. I mean, in the states, there's common law. They have common law states where, yeah, if you live with somebody, you shack up with them for a certain amount of time, they're going to categorize you guys as married.
Okay.
That's
I wanted
one.
to say I agree with you because in my culture, it's the same thing. But I said this before: the culture of the country you're in determines how the people are going to act, no matter where they're from. I don't care where they're from. All these people make all these excuses like, "Oh, in my culture, we don't do this." Bull crap.
But honestly, yeah, exactly. Because
all-
here, I feel like nobody really talks about marriage like that. And then I don't know if it's the people that I'm seeing around, but it can be just at work. It can be like my close friends. It can be not like marriage is not even like something people aim for anymore. Like I hear it and people are just like, why? Or even to have kids, they're like, why would I do that? Like
there's-
everything going on.
to answer that, Nelson, you mentioned it, the individualistic culture of, I mean, because Canada and US are like sister countries to me. Like
Yeah.
they're about the same, you know? Here, everybody can have a house, everybody can have a car, everybody can have their own life. If I'm living good, why would I bring somebody in to give me emotional damage? Why would I do that? Why? You know what I'm saying? I'm living good. I'm chilling. Why would I want to bring this person?
Yeah, the world is
into ruin my
changing. So
life?
people are adjusting and like we're trying to hold on to some things that like in the past or our parents or like our grandparents, but it's like we're not living there.
We're not living in those
Yeah,
times
so we
anymore.
cannot hold on to these things going forward because we're gonna get disappointed unless like rarely, like in a rare case, we're like, wow, I actually found somebody that. But you know, but the reality is people are not finding what they're wanting. Like it's everybody wants something different, but they all like a lot of people really seem to struggle like finding what they think they want. You know what I mean? And then
Well, it's
that's
like,
where
it's like you said that um they feel like I would say like, damn, I just had it in my head. It's just the fact that because now the economy's bad, now they want relationships.
yeah,
Because there was a video of a guy exposing that. Now that things are bad, now people can't buy bread, can't buy eggs. Where's the men at? Where's the good men? Where's the guys that were willing to get married before? It's like you guys only want marriage when it benefits y'all. You know, it's both because they have what they call it, those homosexuals, those dudes that be waiting in the street waiting for a girl to pick them up. There's dudes that operate the same way, but I'm just saying that the only time people really, and back in the day, like I said, my friend's grandma said we only got in relationships out of desperation or because of our first needs, right? Something to eat, something to drink, a place to sleep. But now that we can afford those in the past years, now that everybody was kind of doing their own thing financially, now it's kind of like, I don't need to be with you. I realize how annoying you are. And an example of what I'm saying, look at COVID. Look how many marriages were destroyed after COVID. Once they realized they had to live with this person for the next 6 months of what they call it,
things got real. They're like, oh shoot.
because they were working so much that they wasn't even around each other that much. But when they had to live together for that long,
No,
they had to-
living with someone is a big thing. Like, even if it's a friend or whatever, it can change your relationship completely because you're seeing another side. You're seeing, and then they're seeing another side of you. Like, I swear, people have arguments over anything. It can just be the way you, I don't know, if you turn off lights or if you rinse your dishes, if you
or you don't throw
close
out
the door.
on time. And that's the thing. You wouldn't recognize that. Let's say you're working 8 hours. I'm working 8 hours.
Yeah.
When we come home to each other, we only have maybe 2 hours to talk and do anything else, not including all that. We don't really know each other like that. But now, when it made us have to live together for all those hours, all those 24 hours a day, now the things that we probably didn't notice because we were away from each other for some time, now we're starting to recognize it now that we're in close proximity all the
Yeah,
time.
marriage is like, and even just relationships are tricky, and it's very like it's not easy. Like people want to get it, but then once you have it, it's not easy to keep it going, keep it healthy. Sometimes, like because everybody has their differences, like, and for sure you can disagree sometimes. And how do you deal with disagreements? How do you deal with like confrontation, like all these things? Like sometimes you don't know until you're in the relationship. You're like, wow. Sometimes you're like, okay, maybe I'm problematic. Like, or some arguments you're like, damn, like I could have chilled out there, or I could have like, approached it differently, or this person, like the other person, why is this person acting this way? Like it makes you realize like once you're in it, it's not like the end. Like, okay, you get married, okay, cool. But the thing is, like, how do you keep it? How do you keep a girlfriend? How do you keep a boyfriend? How do you keep a husband? How do you keep a wife? This is the thing. A lot of people are just wanting to get there, but then when you see married couples that are like, they keep saying like, yeah, you got to work on it. It's hard. Marriage is hard, and that means that they went through some stuff together, like that maybe almost brought them to divorce. And sometimes it can be very simple little stuff that from the outside you're like, are you guys serious? But like you said, you're living with the person 24/7, and you have the thought in your head that, okay, we're married. Like I cannot just be like, bye. If you have kids and everything, it's like knowing how to work things out, even if sometimes it feels like it's not working out sometimes.
It's crazy what you're saying, because this is where I want to say that marriage is not for everybody.
Yeah.
Marriage is for the people that are family
Oriented, yeah.
family oriented, both men and women. If both of them see themselves having kids, building something, marriage is for them. But to the people out here who just want to get it in real quick, or the people who just want to have fun, bar hop,
Yeah, it's
those
different.
have a fun lifestyle, marriage ain't for them. The problem is society tries to say everybody needs to be married. This is the way it needs to go. And that to me is an issue. I feel like the people who want to have fun, y'all be over here. The people who actually want to be married, y'all come over here. And the problem is everybody's mismatching. Like the dude is getting the girl at the wrong time.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because how can you know for sure?
The girl is ready to settle down, but the
Yeah.
guy not
Because let's be honest,
down.
both men and women, like if they see an attractive person, let's say you're going out, you see attractive guy, attractive girl, and this girl is your type or whatever. Sometimes you're not thinking about all that because you're just like, wow, this person is interesting. A lot of people are just like, with their eyes. And then a lot of guys have said that on my page, like, okay, women will like drop their standards for like a guy that they find very, very like good looking, like as if, okay, this can slide because he's a 10, whatever you guys say. Or guys too, like, okay, oh, I don't usually go for a single mother or whatever, but then okay, this girl, she looks like, you guys forget, or you don't even care anymore. You're just, yeah, I'm not saying for a relationship, let me marry her, but I mean initial contact, you see, and then she said, yeah, I have to get, oh yeah, okay, I'll be a stepdad. Like you're ready because what you like what you see. A lot of people are like that at first. It doesn't mean it's gonna last, that relationship, but I mean, let's say another girl in that same event that maybe would fit what you actually would want or need in your life is not getting your attention at that moment because what catches the eye will kind of win at first, right?
It's a good point. We had this conversation. Basically, it's like the people, especially for guys, you talked about why guys struggle on dating, and I said this before. Men fall in love with their eyes. That's an old saying. Men fall in love with their eyes. Women fall in love with their ears. So a lot of guys will have a woman that actually supports them, but she's just not attractive to them anyway.
Yeah,
And
or
the girl that is
they will
attractive
find
to them,
the more, like they will find a girl that's really attractive to them,
the girl that's really
and
attractive,
they're like, I don't care about you. I'm
she's
gonna
got
they're
options.
I give you the time of day.
They're not giving you
Yeah.
the time. You're not that guy to her.
Yeah,
so
and you're
this is
in
why-
her DMs while the nice girls, they're like, are you gonna call me back?
Crickets.
But you're in the DM. You're in the DMs
Yeah.
of the
And
damsel.
this is where, as dudes, like, even though, I know dudes are just giving their side of the story, because I understand that's why a lot of these channels were created. But
Yeah.
as dudes, we have to take accountability and understand that, yes, I get it. You do want to, having a beautiful chick at your side not only helps your social life, but it helps your business too. And if you think I'm lying, look at these businesses. When you go to Hooters and you go to these girl bar where the girls serve, don't they look a certain way? You see what I'm saying? So when a guy is seen with a beautiful girl, it ups his status. Basically, it makes him look better to the people around them. But if you're a dude that really sees what's going on, it's like she don't really feel him like that, or she's just using him or whatever. Like, you can see it right away. You can see that the intentions there are not genuine. So am I saying no? Should we date the people we're not attracted to? I didn't say that. What I am saying is that understand, if you choose to go after somebody who's not reciprocating that energy back to you, accept the consequences that come with it.
Mhm.
Not saying you should date somebody who's just completely unattracted to you, because even them, they could still not like you either. You have to deal with the person who respects you the same way. And the problem is,
Yeah, and it's hard. I feel for a lot of people
like,
because
don't like us. We want their attention.
yeah, we want what we can't have. That's like human nature in
Correct.
some way. But it's like, how do you have the strength to combat that? That's the thing. I was wondering if there's anyone here in the chat that would like to join.
Yeah, man, come on up.
Yeah, like
Come
let's
on in, man. Come on in, man.
Shout out to y'all, man.
Is there anyone that wants to like give their perspective or whatever? I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like showing their faces, so
I don't gotta do that. Just keep the camera off.
yeah, I can keep the camera off. Let's see. I don't know if YouTube is delayed or if Restream. I think Restream is accurate. Okay, so I would have to put the link in the chat.
And one thing another thing while we're waiting for anybody that wants to come up, I want to say, like, when you add kids, businesses, jobs, when you add all that in the mix, it makes the situation even worse, because now we're both confused and creating chaos with each other. But the aftermath is like a domino effect, because now it's affecting every other aspect of these individuals' lives and the people around them. So I think that they should make more laws that hold both sides more accountable. And in this case, I feel like if you're a woman, I'm gonna use the woman's side first. You, like, if she gets married with like ill intent, or like, they have like no fault divorce or whatever, she has to give proof that this won't work out for her, And then as the guy, on the other hand, it's like, you can't just be out here. If you say you're gonna be committed, you can't be out here having babies out of wedlock. There has to be a punishment. And I even called it the punishment system. Let's say you're not in a relationship. Let's say you're a dude, you got 4 baby moms. I feel like after 3 baby moms, you can't have no more kids legally, or you'll go to jail. I'm serious.
Got it strict, bro.
And that goes for the women too. If you meet a girl and she got like 3 divorces and 5 baby dads, you don't deserve no relationship. You don't deserve what? You shouldn't be. You should be.
What was the topic of marriage, bro? I think.
Yeah,
topic qualified
for the marriage, for the topic of marriage. But I'm saying, like, in general, so we can weed out the bad and bring in the good. Because, like I said, marriage is not for everybody. But unfortunately, we still get married anyway, regardless. And there's always this domino effect of problems that affect other people, because they don't affect just you yourself, they affect other people too, So that's what we have to be conscious of. We have to understand that it's like our actions do affect other people as well. So I do believe there should be like a punishment system for people who's abusing relationships for their own selfish needs or stuff like that, because this person should not be going back out to the dating market trying to get partners when they already messing up the ones they already had. I call it the chance program.
You have limited chances.
You know what I'm saying? Hey.
I guess nobody is gonna want to join for now.
I mean, y'all don't be shy, man. Come on up.
Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, so that's what I was saying to you guys before we got on. I was like, I think the people who tune in, they're like not down to show up in these things, but I still gave it a try. Anyways, the link is there, so whenever I get the request, I'll add whoever wants to add it. But yeah, so let's see. I had something else to ask. Um,
The chance program, Jordan.
For real though, for real, I really do think we have to keep people accountable in this structure because we're too free. Like because the government benefits when everybody's divided. That's what a lot of people don't realize. When we're divided, they love that. They're like, oh man, I could tax the hell out of both of them. That's beautiful. But when I'm married, guess what? I get tax benefits with the kids. We can because we're married, we have another tax benefit off that. And I heard even some places pay you if you guys are married. So when you guys are one unit together, it's harder for them to destroy y'all than when y'all divided.
mhm.
You know,
And what do you guys think can help people? Like, let's say men, because it's easier. What can help men like choose better women to date? Like, what do you suggest in today's world? I know there's dating apps, right? But it's really hard to tell with dating apps. Like, you're really going through off.
Hey, what's up, Leo? I see you out there.
um, well, I guess we could just start with like,
What's up with the basics?
Mhm.
Or
Okay, yeah, I have a
in
question. What
area.
do you guys think about approaching women like in real life? Would you guys recommend guys to approach women? Because I did a video on that, and then everybody's like, all the guys are like, we're not approaching women because the women are gonna call the cops, or I don't know.
shout out to the task force. Shout out to the task force. I'm gonna let you go first.
um, will you repeat that one more time, Kim?
Like, yeah. So, what do you think? Do you think guys should approach women in real
Oh, okay,
life?
okay, okay, okay.
Like, because a lot of guys are like, no, like, we're not doing that anymore because this and that, feminism, and like,
Modern.
we're gonna wait for the women to approach it. We're not like they say chase, but I don't think women necessarily want guys to chase them, but to, if you find a girl, cute or whatever, in person, do you think it's something that guys should do? Or like a lot of guys are saying that like it's not worth it these days to do that. Like you will get accused of things, or you would get seen as a creep, or like I honestly don't think that. Personally, I don't think that. But then a lot of them will be like, oh well, for sure if a guy approaches you in person, you're gonna have to find him attractive for you to like receive it properly. Like saying women in general, like if it's a guy that they're typically not, don't really find attractive, they will give the guy like some attitude or like ignore the guy. So my question is like, do you think that's a good method, like to approach women in real life? And even if there's a possibility of rejection, right? Does it help men like kind of feel confident, like just to be able to go up to women? Or I don't know. Some guys are like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna talk to any women. Like, just forget women. I don't see how that's helping. How would that
Um,
help a guy? You know what I mean?
I think guys should approach women, but I feel like under a certain context, how you doing it, and just the fact that I don't think guys should just wait on girls just to talk to them because you're gonna be waiting a very long time if you're not up to par to and looks wise to them.
Hmm.
But I feel like in certain situations where like I say, like even like certain social events or like anything that's like interactive that's in the public, you can approach them, just to feel them out. And sometimes,
Hmm.
yeah, they are gonna say no or they have a boyfriend or whatnot, and then you just keep it at that. But I think guys always feel the worst that she's gonna like yell out and say ew, and those type of
Yeah.
things like kind of makes it you don't want to approach. But at this point of our life is that we're going to have to take a risk
Mhm.
somewhere and another. Like everything that we do, like the things that we want to do, we all took some total risks in order to benefit from the results afterwards. So I feel like if this is the girl that you're really interested in, and you might not have an opportunity to talk to her, I would just say just approach, but at the same time, don't put all your efforts and your delusion that, oh, this is going to be the one for me and I don't want to mess it up, because
Yeah,
at
like
some
you're
point you
putting so
don't know.
much. That's the thing. You're gonna have to see it as, okay, let me shoot my shot, and then, okay, if it doesn't work, okay, next. Like, you can't put too much power in this girl that you don't know. You know what I mean? And then it ruins your night because, oh, she didn't react the way I wanted her in my head. You know what I mean? But I see how it can be it can be hard to do that. Um, like, because men are expected to do it. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys, they feel very shy, and like, you know, they're not at the point where they feel confident to walk up to a girl they find attractive. So for sure, it's a challenge. But yeah, I don't think I should like completely give up on that. There's
My
certain ways to do it.
my take on it.
Hmm.
One of my friends said, I know you have. This is where we're different because growing up, I'm confident in what I do, but when it came to like approaching women, see the way guys talk about it on the internet in real life, it's different. It's different when you're in real life, right?
Hmm.
My style of getting
Sorry.
girls may not be the same style as another guy's version of getting girls. I realize what works best for me is when I approach them like a regular person. Like when I talk to them, I'll be like, let's say we're both at the gas station and we're both about to pay, and I see a nice me, I'm gonna compliment something that she's wearing. I'm gonna be like, hey,
Hmm.
that's a nice thing you got there. Where you get that from? Then she'll tell me something. Now, once I know she's talking to me, I
Yeah.
pull her in. Now I can do other things. I feel like when she's willing to engage with you, that's when you strike. I don't want to sound like all predatory. But my approach of getting girls, the girls that I've dealt with, I've always talked to them like I would talk to a friend. That's always been my approach. Like I said, what
Hmm.
works for one guy may not work for another guy.
But
I'll
yeah, that's a good way. Honestly, that's a really good way to,
You
because
pay for
then,
her gas? No,
no, no,
no.
no, no. You don't pay for a gas. Like if she's wearing
you
like
guys are funny in the comments. I'm reading some comments. I'm holding back.
because the reason why I said you should have a conversation with her, that is a good indicator on how she's going to treat you in a relationship. Like if she's already like when you talk to somebody, they're very standoffish, like get away from me. Like, you can feel the
Yeah,
vibe.
the vibe
Me,
right
I'm
away.
a very vibe reader. I've been told that I read vibes very well, right? I can tell when somebody don't like to be around me. I can tell when I'm just annoying the person, they don't want to be around me. And at that point, if I shoot my shot, of course they're gonna embarrass me because I didn't pick up the signs that they didn't like me. And I think it's unfortunate because a lot of men don't have that same foresight. Some dudes think a girl is feeling them when really she was just being nice. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to look at it as like, okay, yeah, she's being nice, but is she like, for instance, like if you, it's funny because I'm gonna use the gas station example again because this actually did happen. This is real life, bro. This is not fake. So I was at work and I went to the Matco gas station to go get some snacks or whatever. There was a beautiful black girl working there, older black lady. I could tell she was probably a couple years older, right? And when I'm going to go pay for my stuff, she made a joke about something. I just forgot what the joke was, but I was like, yeah, thick thighs save lives. I made a joke like that, right? And
Hmm.
then then we kept conversating, and then I was just like, I said something about junk, but then she was like, guys who talk about their junk are usually not that big. And I said, ma'am, your mind is in the gutter. I'm talking about my thighs. What are you talking about? And then she started laughing. And then boom, I
Mm-mm.
got her number. You see what I'm saying? All approaches are different because it started off as a regular conversation and then it led to that. You see what I'm saying? But that's just me. That's what works for me. That may not work for every guy. You see what I'm saying? She probably kind of already had an interest. That's why she kept entertaining the conversation.
Yeah, you gotta kind of read the room, feel it out. You
Because
know.
I just think like, oh, hey, do you like me? Okay, get my number. Like, I'm not saying that doesn't work, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
some people are like, "Oh wow, you look good. Can I have your number?" And it's just like,
No.
why would I give you like that?
shout out to Leo. He's facts. You can make him giggle. You can make him giggle. Facts, bro. Facts.
Oh my god.
It's true. It's true because, like I said, she's gonna realize you're comfortable with yourself and you're comfortable talking to her. If you make it like awkward, and I know guys are afraid to be themselves because they don't want the girl to see them as weird. But I say, actually, contrary to that, you should be authentic to who you are because her weird may just match yours. You
Yeah,
just don't know that because you were afraid to show that personality up front. Because like I said this before, don't expect every girl that you like to look at and see is the girl for you. Because maybe she might not be feeling you, but she thinks you're a good person. She like, you know what? Even though I didn't want your number, you're cool. I have a friend who's single. I've had that happen to a friend before, where the girl wasn't feeling him, but she liked his conversation, liked who he was, and then now he got the friend. You see what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like you gotta gauge the person you're talking to. And I say this when you're in a job interview because it's a perfect thing. You always want to match the conversation level of the person. So if the person's talking very, you know, uppity and not making no sexual innuendos, not being too funny, not making like any funny remarks, you got to match that same energy. You know what I'm saying? You got to match the energy of that person. That way, that way it's kind of like, hey, look, I'm on the same playing field as you. You know? But if you come in talking too sexual, now she could be like, is that all you think about? Or, oh, she's going to be disgusted by it. It's like, nah. You know? That's why once the conversation gets good, then you sneak some of that stuff in there. But in the beginning, like I said, this is my approach. I have never approached a girl and just been like, girl, you are so beautiful. I just want you.
Nah, I never liked that route. I never liked that route.
And I know dudes are gonna be like, you just scared, bro. I'm like, look, I'm not saying that it's not warranted to be scared. I just move more strategically. I'm very strategic when I talk to women. Now, this gonna make me come across as a manipulator. I don't care. Y'all want that information.
He's giving you guys some tips here.
I look at it as like every girl's not gonna read your energy the same. Even the ones you like. Sometimes it'd be the ones you wasn't even thinking. Like she was just like, she cute. She a good 6. She cool. I spent some time with her. That's the one that really likes you. You just start talking, being yourself, and she likes you a lot. And you didn't even do nothing. It was a regular day for you.
Yeah,
and I've seen that happen before. So it's just like every guy's approach is not the same. So I feel like you should gauge your approach as a guy with a girl, how they treat you normally. How do girls normally treat you when you're not approaching them? When you're in like a normal setting, classroom, job, restaurant, any public space with other people, how do women naturally treat you? That right there should let you know how you adjust your game. Because there are dudes that I know that talk very reckless. They be like, what that mouth do? And she feeling them. because he knows, he like, man, I know I'm sexy. I know I got this. See, but he naturally exudes that confidence. Because
and if you feel that the girl is giving you that energy where it's like very like, that.
But I'm more of a timid shy guy. So it's more like me, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be more like, hey man, how you doing? What was that Chris Brown song?
No.
I see you from across. That's kind of my approach.
Yeah, that one.
Keep going.
Yeah. So a lot of guys, they just don't know how to approach, how to like go about it. And let's see, something else that I've been getting a lot, some questions, is what do you guys think about guys, like, yeah, what do you have to say to the guys that, like, they're basically giving up on dating or even having a girlfriend because they feel like they're not attractive enough, like only based on looks, like they're just like, okay, well, only these guys win. What do you guys have to say about that? The Chad, Tyrone, only they win, so why am I gonna try? Like like all girls are gonna just like end up leaving me or cheating on me for this type of guy. So
Okay, look, I'm gonna give more context to that statement. There's a reason why guys talk like that, and I get it because I went through it. I played on the football team. I've seen these chatting Tyrones. I know what they're talking about. There are dudes who don't even have to open their mouth, quiet as a mouth, have no conversation skills, and girls throw the punani at them without them even trying. They just walk into a room and girls just want to throw themselves at them. And I always say, don't be jealous of those guys. That's the gift that they have. But that gift also comes with a curse because the ones approaching them are not the ones that they want. It's usually the not so attractive ones, the sloppy ones. They're not getting baddies to do that to them. They're getting the average chicks to do that to them. And also, when they do get that much of attention, it can become kind of deadly because now those women end up being obsessed with them. I know a girl who was so obsessed with the guy, like so obsessed with him, it was like on an unhealthy level. And it's just like, I know you guys think that those guys live good lives, but you don't know what they're going through. There's a lot of dudes who struggle. They feel like, oh, no girl really cares about them. They just use them for sex, blah, 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 blah. And I know guys are like, how could you be used for that? It's possible, bro. Because in her mind, she feel like, well, you got so many options, I can't trust you. So before you reject me, I'm going to reject you. So a lot of these guys, they may get a lot of chicks thrown at them, but they never, ever get the girls that they really want.
yeah, people are just playing games.
For it.
Yeah, it's just a whole game thing because the girls know that this guy's getting a lot of girls, so they probably just want to, like, the same way guys just want to sleep with women. A lot of guys don't understand that a lot of women, they can see a guy and just be like, I just want to sleep with him. Like, it's not like, yeah, this is how it is in today's day. A lot of women, like, I have some girlfriends that are like, yeah, like, this hot guy I saw, whatever. Yeah, but I don't care too much for him. He's just good looking. There's nothing much going on. Like, when I talk to him, he's just hot. So I just, there's just a physical chemistry, and like, yeah, I wanted to sleep with him. But otherwise, it's just like nothing interesting there. Like, next, a lot of women, what they really want for them to like think about you after all that is not just that. Like, a lot of women, maybe that's enough, but it's not the type of women that most guys actually would want long term, I feel.
Yeah,
Because it goes both ways. It's like they're so impressed easily by anything. So the next guy, they're just like, like, and then you're like, damn, girl, like, what?
There's always gonna be a guy that's better than you.
And
So
just guys like that too. Girls see that guy like that. Like, okay, he's just gonna see another girl with whatever his type will show up, and then she's just gonna be like, okay, was fun. Just like these girls do that, and these are the people that just want to have fun, and there's no problem with just having fun. But I'm just saying that people who are actually looking for like something serious and like envy those people is like they're going through like. Anyways, I don't get too much detail,
yeah,
but like they can catch a lot of things along the way. Is all I have to say.
yeah, a lot of presents, a lot of gifts.
yeah.
Gifts that you
Some
can't give back,
yeah, some things stay permanent too.
Yeah, exactly. You're too excited. And
That's
you
where
know?
discipline is important.
Yeah,
Like,
discipline is very important for guys because anybody can throw it. Like, and guys, they love the idea of having options. So I keep seeing, like, okay, well, at least he can get some. But I'm like, yeah, but like, what is he getting? He's getting something with that, like that you're gonna avoid if like, it's not always good just because, like, they're, I don't know.
it's just the unknown. It's like
Yeah, it's
it,
just
there
I
was
wish I could have like had that choice. I get it. Like,
correct. I wish I could have had
I
those
could have
options.
been that guy where I'm like, yes, no, no, yes, yes, Oh, I would make the right choices. That's what you think. But it's not that simple. It's not that easy.
What
Doesn't
they
make
say?
things easier. Yeah.
Comparison is
It's a thief of joy.
Is the thief of joy. Yeah. So it's just kind of like a lot of guys look at other dudes' life and think, man, my life is so miserable. Look at how good he's living. But you don't think that dude might have suicidal issues. That dude might deal with depression. That dude might, like, there was a guy, like I said, another example, a guy that played on my team. He was on the news, on the state newspaper, on the cover, gonna be a Supreme quarterback. Dude ended up homeless. And I'm talking about he had whole 304s for days. Dude was popular. Then I see this man homeless. You see what I'm saying? It's just like you were the man back then. But now I see you, it's like, damn, what happened to you, bro? Like, what happened? Like, you was that guy back then. That's why I'm always saying, don't ever look at these guys. Because look at Post Malone. He said the same thing in an interview where he was like, dudes assumed that he was getting women thrown at him when he was younger. He's like, bro, I didn't even know you could even talk to girls until I became famous, until I started making music, so I started blowing up. He talked about his experience. He was like treated like a duck. He was ignored, like he wasn't given anything. So it's just kind of like he put all that work into his blessing, his talent. And I feel like a lot of guys got to realize, okay, you're not getting that attention now, but if you work on yourself and you work on your blessings or your talent, whatever lane you choose, you'll
eventually.
But see, you're gonna have a more genuineness about you because that's not something Mother Nature gave you. That's something you worked hard for. Father Time helped you build that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you're gonna realize your life is more fulfilled because you actually work towards something because everybody else is ignoring you. While everybody else is ignoring you, you working, you getting things done, and then now you're the one in control later in life. Which is a lot of guys do take advantage of that, and they do let the evil era come out, and they start doing a bunch of evil things because they can't let go of that feeling of rejection from the past. But I've always said that's up to their decision, though. That's their choice if they choose to do that. There are men who do make it to that level and don't do that. Don't go slinging the pee around, whatever. They end up probably finding a dedicated woman along the way. They're going to realize all that fake attention that other guy was getting. I got a girl who's really down for me. I got a girl who really makes sacrifices for me. So never look at another guy's life and think there is no such thing as somebody else's life that's better than yours. And I truly do believe in that statement. I don't believe you're on this earth for a reason. I don't care how ugly you are as a guy or whatever. God gave you this because you're the one that can handle it.
You was the strongest sperm cell, man. Don't give that up, man.
So you're like, number one.
Don't fall for the hype. You know what
I'm saying? All of us here, champions. We're the chosen ones. Yeah, I swam. Yeah, I swam. Maybe I can't swim now.
I want to say because I know there's a lot of guys who struggle with self-esteem, and I feel like that's what this space don't really preach. They talk about self-improvement, but they don't preach about how important it is to have a healthy self-esteem. Like even when you're at rock bottom, you gotta have the spirit inside of you that you're gonna fight and get back to the top. That I feel like a lot of guys don't realize how important it is just to have the fighting spirit alone. Some dudes feel like, oh, I need to overcompensate. I need the car. Nah, bro, you that dude without the car. It ain't the car that's the thing. It's you who got the car. That's the amazing thing. You're the amazing person. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys seem to use their achievements and their accolades and try to make that the face of their confidence. That's not real confidence. Confidence comes from the fact that you know that you achieved something you never thought you could before. And now that you accomplish it, now you can inspire somebody else to do it. And this translates into dating because other women are going to see that. They're going to be like, damn, he act like he don't even need me. Like this dude like living his best life. He out here taking trips. He out here doing it. I know people think women ain't. They looking at your shit. They see you on Instagram. They see you. They just not saying nothing, but they watching you. Yeah. They see your moves. They see how you do things, and they're like, "Oh, I want a piece of that. I want a part of that."
But yeah, I always try. Like in my videos, like when they see a lot of people that like are not really happy with me, whatever, with their comments, it's just like, "Why are you talking about this when you probably have a beautiful life? You're probably doing this, that, and that. You're probably the girl that would reject this." And like again, going off of just like what they see and like assuming stuff, but it's like I think that's the big thing. Yeah, a lot of people really go for looks and like will judge people off of looks, but a lot of time people get surprised. A lot of people get surprised, and it's just like you can't like be quick to like assume things when you see people, or like, I don't know. And just a lot of people, I realized on YouTube by reading comments, is like they're so comfortable in that space that, like, okay, yeah, I'm like, I'm just never gonna get like anybody. I'm never gonna like be in a relationship, and I'm just like done, and women are this and that, and it's just like becomes very like intense. Some comments I'm like, damn, I read it and I'm like, I don't even know what to say to because I just see how deep it got, like paragraphs on my channel, and I'm like, at this point, it's not me that can like it. Like, it's either you need a therapist, something to speak about all these things, because sometimes it looks so like personal. It's like very like deep rooted that I'm like, damn, there's nothing I can comment. Like, I
Well,
feel sad sometimes. I'm like, damn, I'm trying to like put out some positivity here, but I feel like there's nothing I can do. Some people are in certain phases where it's like, I guess they have to go through that, like, F everything
they gotta let it
type
out.
of
You
thing.
gotta let them let it out.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know what? This is not my place to um, tell them how
But
they're supposed
but
to feel.
also it's giving you insight on how some people are living, and that's what you got to understand. When we think we're doing bad in life, we're actually doing pretty damn good. We're like, I feel like sometimes, damn, I'm not doing enough.
Mhm.
Then you see some other people, you're like, dude, I'm doing way better than I thought I was. And that's what I'm saying. You can still continue being you, doing how you move, how you authentically move in life, and the people that see that are gonna appreciate that. The good people, the people are gonna appreciate. They're gonna be like, damn, she's actually pushing out a positive message, stuff like that. The people who are angry, both men and women, because there's bitter women too,
Yeah.
they have to deal with that themselves. Some people can be saved, some people can't. Some people, like I said before, if this dating stuff is stressing you out, you just need to take space alone.
Yeah,
Get
you don't
online
you
off,
don't take a
cut
break.
it
Yeah.
off, take it like just take
Put
a
your energy, put your focus on other things,
right.
because there's so many things in life that can make you feel good, make you feel like, it's not only like another human. Like, there's so many things that you can do in life that is gonna make you feel fulfilled, or just like you find your purpose, other than, oh, I need a man, or I need a woman by my side. Like, these things will always come once you will be better prepared if you're like good with yourself, if you feel like, okay, I'm liking, my life right now. I'm taking care of myself. I'm focused. I have a plan. I have short-term goals, long-term goals. Because a lot of people will ask you these things, and sometimes you can miss out on like good people, even like friends, not only just like romantic relationships, if they feel like it's blank when they talk to you, and it's just like there's nothing going on. There's nothing that you can actually speak for yourself. Like, there's nothing about you that makes them think, wow, I want this person around me. Like, sometimes even if you work on your looks and go to the gym and all that, if you're not interesting, you're not interesting. And then a lot of people get frustrated too, because I went to the gym, I got this done, this, and I still don't get there. I'm still, because they're so focused on the exterior that, like, I don't know, they probably got rejected before. Like, I made a video on like when guys or even girls glow up, as they say. Oh, now I'm getting all this attention I didn't get before. But then they're still the same person, and maybe they even have some bitterness when they get approached, or they really want to play people now, because like, oh, now I'm in the position where I can, like, they want to hurt.
I can be the aggressor now.
You know what I mean? And then it's like,
Putting all the hate out there.
yeah, and then they feel something good about that, because it's like, oh, I'm getting some type of revenge, and I feel like I have power now, and I'm on top. But
Well,
they're not really happy in the
and
end.
and that's the thing. That's their karma. That's the thing. That's why I say sometimes some things are a blessing or a curse. You have the blessing of being able to get all that attention. Now, instead of projecting love and happiness, you put out more hate, despair.
Yeah.
Now you think it's gonna make you feel better, but it's only gonna make you feel worse, because now you're probably gonna hurt somebody who might have been actually good for you, and now you just blocked your blessing because of a past relationship. And I tell people that do not move in that sense, because whatever happened at that time was meant to happen. It was either to help build you or destroy you. And if you get to that level and you choose to,
Did we
you
just
know,
get it? Did we just get something?
We got a super chat. You got a
Oh,
super chat.
congratulations.
Oh, thank
Oh, I
you,
got
little ba,
you.
little ba.
But to keep it short, not to go on a tangent, let those people do what they do. Let those people do what they do. If you are a strong-minded person with good boundaries, you're gonna recognize that right away. You're gonna recognize, you're gonna be like, this person just acting like this because of whatever. You avoid them. At that point, you gotta leave it to the people that have enough good common sense to know, like, hey, this person's out to hurt people. This person's not even out to love. Oh, somebody wants to join.
Oh.
Dim dot.
Dim dot.
Okay, let me add the link again. Thanks, little ba.
Yeah, it's like and I get it. I get what you're saying. It's just it's just good that we recognize it and then we stay away from people like that.
Okay, so
Or
dim dot is coming in.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
hello.
What's up? What's up?
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Good,
Not
you.
much, man. We're doing all right.
So I basically just wanted to join in on a topic I was hearing, which I was talking about 25 minutes ago when it was the topic of marriage and kids and everything like that. I was just busy at the time, but I'm here to engage. I'm just listening right now.
Is that?
Yeah, I'm saying I'm just listening. I'm just listening. Just ask me what you want to ask me, and I'll fill in and stuff like that. I didn't want to disrupt right now.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. Do you have anything like? Do you want to add to what we're saying, or do you have some points that you want? Like, what do you like? You heard what we were talking about. Do you have something that that stood out?
One thing that I noticed that stood out when y'all were talking about the topic of approaching women in person versus online, I feel like personally, when you approach a woman in person, if you have good social skills, especially, it's more in your benefit. But for the people that have anxiety problems and things like that, it might work out more in their favor. More in their favor online due to the fact that you have that option. But online, they tend to not take you serious because social media was made for women. So they have all these thousands of options every single day and probably tens and hundreds of people that's hitting them up on a weekly, depending on who they are. So when you actually take your time out to approach a woman in person, which is rare nowadays because a lot of young men, at least the ages of 30 and younger, especially, really didn't grow up with that much social skills 9 times out of 10, you kind of stand out automatically.
But I feel like I don't know if you guys think that it's something that you can work on. Like me, honestly, I was never someone like I would actually stutter a lot public, like when I had to speak in front of people and stuff. And like my family was very surprised when they found out I was doing like YouTube, or I did some interviews in person and things like that. They're like, you out of everyone, like I was always seen as the shy one, reserved, quiet, and then they're like, "Wow, okay." And I think it took a couple like lessons. Like I was in some positions where I was kind of embarrassed, but yeah, after a while, if you really want to, you can work on it, and like it's not easy, but
Yeah, I was just
you get
saying for like
there.
the other people, one thing I noticed is as I've gotten older, I've worked on it a lot more because um one thing that I kind of noticed is you always miss the shot you don't attempt. So the worst thing a female could say is no. So you might as well go up, even if your approach isn't 100% clean cut or the best. You have a better chance just attempting than a person even attempting online because you don't know how long it's been since a person actually genuinely approached her and just gave it a shot.
Yeah, honestly, what do you guys have to say, Kevin and Nelson?
No, I think he's right. I feel like I said, you have a better chance if you do things in person. But I feel like is that humanistic aspect of it. Like you've seen somebody face to face that you have to approach somebody and go out your way to do something. People have a little bit more respect for it, so they're more willing to hear you out when you guys interact with each other. So I think that's more important in the level of how people should interact with each other. I just feel like the people who like they're sh- they're shy or introverted and want to be online. I feel like it's more detrimental because they're not improving on their skills to talk to people, and then they're ones complaining that nobody wants to talk to them, but they don't put forth the effort to talk to other people. So I feel like when they type stuff, you know, I guess they won't feel too bad about it because if they don't answer, they won't feel that total rejection of it. It just be like they don't answer her, he or she doesn't answer in their DMs or whatever, then they just keep it at that. But I guess once they go into person, it's like everything. They feel like they put so much emphasis on it that they feel like the whole world is going to end if they say no to their approach.
Yeah, I do fall a victim of that sometimes. Um, but like I said, as I get older, I've noticed like the worst thing she could say in person is no, just go about your day. It is what it is. Um, but one thing I did have a question about is this. Um, Now I know you guys spoke on the fact that marriage have a lot of benefits as far as taxes and things like that because you can file together, you get certain type of tax benefits and breaks. Do you feel like marriage is more beneficial or detrimental though?
Like for men or for both?
You could say for both, and mainly on the legal side.
Hmm. I know a lot of men say that why they don't want to get married is because like if they divorce, then like they're losing a lot financially. That's what I hear a lot from the USA. Um, for women, like that's a whole other discussion. But like if it's financially, I feel like what I hear more is the men saying that like they can lose a lot in a divorce.
Somebody wants to come in. Caden?
Okay, let's see what he has to
And
say.
is everybody reporting from the United States?
Yeah, where are you from?
I'm from the United States. I was just wondering
Okay,
because I
okay.
see the other flags in the background.
Oh yeah, we in the States now. We in.
The flag. Oh, I'm glad you know.
I yeah, that's Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
And
And Haiti. Yeah,
so
I live in Canada.
yeah, they so when we got these flags, the Haitian flag represents me, and the Nigerian flag represents my friend. He's Nigerian. We are
Okay.
firstborn Americans out of our families. So our families came, migrated here, but we're the first generation. We're the first kids that are actually American slash.
That's dope. And Kimberly, you say you're in Canada?
Yes, I'm in
Is
Quebec.
marital laws different in Canada versus the US as far as like uh
Me, I was saying like I was saying in the beginning of the live that in like where I'm from in Canada, um like the culture in Quebec, it's not like a lot of people are not married, but they can be together for years and like have children with that, and it's not seen as like weird.
I've heard horror stories when it comes to
Anyways,
Canada.
Caden is here. I don't know if your mic is on.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
want to
on.
keep you waiting.
I was waiting for you guys. No, I was waiting for you guys to like, I didn't want to interrupt you guys. So,
No, it's fine. We're all here talking.
all right. So, I mean, like, technically, I'm in the United States right now, but like, I live in the Bahamas though, but I'm in the United States for school. And my question is, like, how do I go up to girls? Cause I'm shy. That's my question.
Now you're in the United States, right?
Yeah, I go to school here. So I go to school in Arizona State.
So you want to know how to approach girls like at school? Is there someone at your school, or it's
Yeah,
just in
it's on
general?
campus. Like, I mean, just in general, just because, like, it's just like in the Bahamas, it's like no opportunity, not really, because it's just like you go to work, you go home, it's like you don't really see anybody on a daily. But in the United States, you see so many people, so I'm like trying to just get out of my comfort zone.
Guys, it's up to you. You guys give some tips.
Well, I, I, I was saving this for when everybody was talking. So one thing I left out, a big important statement that I left out, as a dude, when you're dealing with women in general, have zero expectations. A lot of dudes put way too much expectations on the girls they talk to. They expect the first girl they talk to like him and love them and be like a Cinderella story. I'm gonna put it like this: if you can't even talk to your homegirls comfortably, what makes you think you're gonna be able to talk to a random chick you just met?
I
You
don't
know
have
what
any
I'm saying?
friends that I don't have any friends that are girls.
If you don't like, okay, do you have any sisters?
Maybe you can practice with
No.
the girls that you're not interested
Yeah,
like in. Right?
good thing you said that. The good way to build social skills is you got to learn to talk to people who don't make you feel that anxious yet. Like talk to
Get some
like
experience, yeah.
you just get used to talking to them. If you can get used to talking to a random person like that, then you'll be ready for a girl because now when you approach her, she's not gonna feel that desperate energy off you. She's gonna be like, "Oh, he cool, whatever." You know what I'm saying? At
And
that point, now
you can get some like ideas on what to talk about with the girl they actually like, because I've had some friends like that where I guess the thing is you have to make sure you're not going to fall for the girl because a lot of them will get caught up into like the friend zone thing. But let's say, you know, like you said, just practice talking to different people, different girls, and then since you say you don't have any girlfriends or anything like that, maybe it will be a bit more natural after once there's a girl that you actually like. Maybe you'll have some topics, or you can comment on certain things that maybe she'll be like, or if I don't know if you have sisters or siblings.
No, I don't.
Okay.
not just you, but I'm just speaking in guys in general.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like generally speaking, yeah.
Because I know
I
a
got
lot of people have this expectation when they talk to, even in my personal life, guys tend to have this expectation that as soon as they talk to the girl, she's just supposed to follow along with them. It's like it's not gonna work like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You gotta
sure.
like be a little bit more smooth with it. At least that's what I would do. I'm getting in my head. I'm talking about what I would do. Me personally, I wouldn't say try to be a friend because you don't want to fall into the friend zone. Just try to be a little bit more like something friend like, but not a friend in a sense. Like you're just y'all cool, y'all cordial. You know, we could do something together. We cannot.
What about like at work? Do you work? Cause you have coworkers or?
No, I'm in school right now. I'm in college,
Okay,
so I want to be a lawyer, but that's it.
Oh, shout out, man! Shout out.
How about in your classroom? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say back to what K and M said earlier. Also, you have to have the confidence to approach her with a topic in mind. So, kind of like one thing that they said earlier, if it's something that you see that she's wearing that you might like, or maybe a certain type of hairstyle, already keep that in mind because that's what grabbed your attention. So it's natural just to ask her, "Hey, where did you get this?" Or, "Oh, where did you get this done at?" Or,
All
"I
right,
like
nice
this,"
hair.
and just see how that flows. Like I see how even you in the chat, you know how to keep a conversation and everything like that. So if you just already know how to keep a conversation, the hardest part is just getting in the door. That's almost with anything in life. Once you get through that door, everything else you just follow up, be natural. The only thing you don't want to do once you in that door is overstay. And what I mean by overstay, don't give her too much about yourself all at once. Like, for instance, how you said you're in school or something like that. You can mention you're in school, but don't tell her the elementary school you went to and the middle school and all of that. Just kind of give her like a little bit of facts about
You want to be
yourself that she's
mysterious.
interested. Yeah, and then leave her with a talking point like, I wonder more about him. I want to know more about him. That way, when you do hit her up, she's actually almost like waiting on you. Like, okay, I was thinking about what you said earlier. I was actually wondering, what did you mean by this? And it could be something that you said, oh, next time we're gonna do this, but I'm not gonna tell you, like surprises or just cut the conversation, not too short, but lead the conversation at like a good episode.
Okay, then dot. I saw. Well, so how long should the conversation last though? Like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute? Or like what? Like how? Like what's the range?
Depends on the setting.
Because
Depends on the setting.
I feel like I talk too much. Like whenever I talk to people, I talk too much. But like, but I can't talk to girls though. Like I don't try to not talk to them because it's scary, bro.
Shout out to Hustle Bunny. I like what he said. I agree with that too. You should not date your coworkers. I'm gonna give a reason for that.
Yeah.
Don't.
But yeah,
Yeah, you go ahead.
yeah. So I don't know. We gave some tips on like how to. I guess it's just to get the foot in, like to just talk to the girl. But yeah, like Kevin said earlier, like you can give a little compliment, see how the girl reacts, and if she kind of like reacts in a receptive way, then and you feel like okay, I can continue a conversation. Sometimes it'll flow naturally, and sometimes some girls actually find it cute when a guy is like nervous around them, or like when as long as you're respectful, and you came in a like respectful manner, you like approached her in a respectful manner. I don't think a girl can be like rude, and if she is, it's like okay, bye. Like
Yeah,
what's
it's
the point
common.
of acting like like
Yeah.
like chill.
Yeah,
Now some
Like-
they act rude to test you. They want to see like, because some dudes like for instance, the girl at the gas station, the one I'm talking about, she low key what she said should have offended me, but I didn't take it in offense because maybe that's her way of flirting, or that's her personality, that's her way of talking. So I rolled with it. But that's just me because I have that temperance. A lot of guys would have got offended by what she said, but I didn't let that offend me because I was like, bro, we're two strangers, bro. Like, what can you say to me that I don't already know about myself? You know what I'm saying? Like,
facts.
like
I think
you know what I'm
a bit.
saying? Like, you
Think
don't know
about
me
it.
like that, so if you say something crazy, I'm gonna just say something crazy back to you. And a lot of girls like that. They like that play energy. Like, oh, he pushed me back. Oh, he think he confident. Let's see. It's gonna pique her interest a little bit because now she sees you in a different light. Because now she sees like, oh, this dude got a little bit of backbone to him.
But yeah, I would
It
say
is
be
funny.
yourself. Like if it's just to like approach her at first, basically you can try to get your foot in by like these little tricks, and then feel her out first.
How do you
And
like keep a conversation going now? Like like we can like talk about like approaching, but like what did I say? Like if I already said something.
so
Let's keep the conversation going.
what really works with women, or a lot of people in general, if you let them do the talking. So you ask some questions, or whatever they said last, you can like repeat, like, oh yeah, like it's like, yeah, so I'm going to okay, like what class are you going to? She's like, oh, I'm going to French class. And you're like, French class? And you're like, yeah, like like you gotta kind of like sound like you're interested in what she's saying. It can be something so basic, but or you can just keep asking, make her do the talking, because a lot of girls like when a guy can be like, when a guy's listening, especially at first, and be like, okay, he's like interested in what I have to say.
Hey, Brownsburg trying to get in. So.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
So do you guys have any, okay, he got out. Do you have any other questions, Kaden?
Nah, I just want to
Thanks
say.
for joining.
I just want
But
to
I
say
just
thank
want
you.
to say
I just want to say
one
thank
more
you.
point speak to him that I just feel like don't put any emphasis on it, because she's not the first meetup that you talk to her, she's not putting any emphasis on your life, because if she says no, like did your life get any better or worse?
No,
So
it's the same thing.
no,
It's the same
exactly.
thing.
So just don't put too much. Don't put them on the pedestal to the point where you can't. You're too scared to talk to them, because it's just a human being like you.
All right, that's true. So I just want to say thank you, K&M. Thank you, Kimberly. I like your videos, by the way. I'm gonna keep watching the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Take care. Thanks for joining. Okay, Brownsburg.
Peace, you guys. What's up?
What's up, man? What's up?
I really enjoyed this conversation. I wanted to talk to the guy before he got off, but it's all good.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, so there's a couple of people that I speak to. A lot of people have these like dating topics that's going on, and I just want to speak from a male's perspective. I think a lot of men have fallen to a place where social media has been the crevice of how they view women. And so with that, they feel as if like, a lot of women is already advertising themselves online about what they do like and what they don't like out of a man. And so I think that a lot of men is just kind of like, well, screw it. I don't meet the qualities that you're looking for. So why am I going to waste my time trying to prove to you that I can be the man for you? Or there's been the popular time where you have a lot of men that might have done the best that they could to get the woman of their choice, and they go into extremes of, I know you heard the term, calling themselves incels now, and that's something that I started to like research for a while on the YouTube streets, because I've been in a lot of panels. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with that term, incels.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, guys, explain that to me, because what I understand is it like, okay, I actually
All right,
I'm
so
not sure.
incels is supposed to represent involuntary celibate. So the problem is that what I've understood from the research that I found, like a lot of these dudes don't want to talk to women. They've tried it before. They've done the best that they could. They have like a doomer personality on things. So they feel like, yo, I don't feel like dealing with these women because they're just so uptight and all this other stuff. And every time I try to put myself out there, I got rejected. So I think that they formed a community out of that, and then within that community they have a very misogynistic view towards women, and then they say the men that can get the best hot women are the Chads and the Tyrones, which is like the black Chad, and all this just crazy shit. And I'm like, yo, y'all had a whole entire term y'all came up with
Yeah,
for
yeah.
this incel community, like, word, like I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, and for me, that's new for me, because like I did my videos blindly without really like looking too much into like girls making videos. Like I actually started. I told that I spoke with them before that like I started making videos. It was for women in a way. I'm like, hey, maybe I want like a female audience, but then YouTube pushed my videos 100% to men. So then I was like, okay, well, I mean, I have things to say to men too, like, but not like negative stuff. But I'm just like, just dating in general, what I've been seeing and like things that I think about, sometimes. And I'm like, okay, I just want to put these things out there. But I've seen a lot of comments with what you're saying, like, okay, all these like Chad and Tyrone. I'm like, what are they saying? Like, I saw a bunch of comments like that after like one or two videos when I did for men, and then like, no, but they want the Chad and they'll leave. I'm like, but are you
Wait,
talking about
Kim, sorry to interrupt you. I got a question for you.
yeah.
Did you ever get called a pick me yet?
It's funny because they asked me the same thing before we did the live.
See, K and M was on it. See, we bonded already, bro. Because
No, but look,
We-
the thing is, it's not happening yet, but it might, because
no, it is, Kim.
YouTube is
I'm telling you.
just it's just men. But if it gets sent to women now, if women start tuning into my videos, for sure that's the first thing that I'm gonna.
Kim, I don't want to be a dick, but I feel like there's a high percentage some chick is gonna get mad and she gonna call you a pick me, and you're just gonna be like, I'm just making videos about what is it that I want to talk about. Like, how am I a pick me? I've seen it before, so I was on these YouTube streets.
No,
and I
no,
picked it
it's
for a while.
just funny. You started laughing because that was one of the first questions they asked me when we did like a first meeting,
Mhm.
the first meeting with Kay, and I'm like, anybody, have you ever heard about the pick me term? And then I was just like, the way you just said it out of nowhere. But yeah, I'm familiar with that. But like honestly, a lot of my videos I like to include women struggles too, and like I always like, because I'm a woman, so I know I always like try to, maybe not always, but there's some videos where I'm like, okay, like women think this, or when like as a woman, like we think this and that, like I'm trying to bring the women perspective. I'm not just like women are this and that, and modern women this, modern women that, because that's not what I want to do. Like I really don't want to spread like hate or whatever for like any side, but I know that with YouTube, I feel like you kind of have to. People are gonna want you to pick a side, like
Nah, you don't gotta do that.
they're trying to push. Okay, you're whose side are you on, girl? Like I know these comments can come if women start tuning in. They'll be like, okay, but whose side are you on? Like I see that on like Instagram or whatever, when girls post certain things that you're not sure where her position is when it comes to dating. Like they're not fully like F men, or like women are all whatever. So there's always like people that are gonna be like, okay, well, you have to pick a side. Like you're gonna pick me, or
I'm telling you right now,
You girl's girl.
if it was you or you bring somebody around you and y'all start doing some cooking with Kaya mess, you know it's game over, right? I'm dead ass. It's about to be dead.
Cooking with Kaya.
Yo,
Oh my god.
telling you.
Pitchforks.
Yo, K&M, I want to ask y'all a question real quick because I'm glad y'all doing this topic. I've been kind of trying to get into. I did this topic for years because I've been trying to find an answer. But so I kind of personally want to know from y'all real quick. So the dating field that y'all feel, right? Like, do y'all feel like the dating field is a little bit jaded, and do you feel like it's more jaded on the men's side, or do you feel like it's more jaded on the women's side? I don't know.
Oh, real quick before I answer. Oh, Leo, there's a link in the chat, so you can just click on that. So, but to answer your question, I think everybody on both sides is just jaded. It just depends on the aspect of the individual how much they jaded are, because I just feel like they went through trying to get in relationships, or they've been through them and they've been like traumatized from them, so they're manifested when they get up, when they improve themselves and stuff. They just want to inflict that pain onto other people because that person that they hold dear did them so dirty that they took them for a long time for them to recover, and now they're spreading their the despair on other people. And I just think that the more the people that do that, it makes people not want to be in relationships or be in long form relationships or marriage or whatever, because it's just that knowing that person, like, you put your all in this person, and they just go back and they feel like you've been backstabbed and you wasted pretty much all your time and investment on this individual, and it's like you have to go back to the field again. And most people don't want to do that because a lot of these people are already tainted, going to the same pool of people again that they're trying to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
And my take on that, when I break it down, we're breaking it down to a science. I'm breaking it down to a science, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of us here are at least mature enough to know when it comes to especially family court or courtrooms, who do they favor, men or women? Okay, so do we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Before I do. Okay, so we know that the laws in the courts lean towards women more than they do the men.
Right.
So let's say we're both bad. See, the thing is, men are going to pay the price. As dudes, when we do something bad, we know we got to put our life on it. We know that people going to come after us. People going to lock us up, chain us up. See, with women, it's a little bit different. They get a little bit more forgiveness. Even if she was a complete piece of ish and all she did was bad, there are people who will come in and protect her versus a guy. A guy probably won't have as much protection as the girl will. And a perfect example of this is the Chris Brown and Rihanna situation.
Yes.
Legendary.
Yes.
This is legendary.
Yes.
Everybody hated Chris. Everybody said he needs to be damned to hell for what he did. Now, years later, the documentary comes out. Oh, Rihanna's crazy. Oh, y'all just now realize that? Like, y'all really think this dude just decided to wail on her and like she didn't caught? A lot of domestic violence cases are 80% initiated by women, right?
Yes.
They talk about this. And this is very true.
And divorces.
And then the dudes retaliate.
Yeah.
So when it comes to both sides being jaded, yes, both sides are jaded, but we still have to live our regular life. As a dude, I still want to have kids. I still want to have a family. So now, as a dude, you have to move a little bit more careful. You have to be careful of protecting your assets, protecting yourself. And now this is where women could be like, oh, you're just insecure. You need to learn to trust us and just give us your whole heart. Don't protect yourself. Don't do none of that. That's not real love because you're not being emotionally available. See, you see how the conversation gets diluted?
Yeah.
See, now that I'm protecting myself, now I'm a problem.
Right.
But and now they're gonna be like, what's your example of this? Rihanna, when she married ASAP Rocky, she said, oh, I'm signing a prenup. Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, he gonna sign a prenup. Wait a minute. I thought marriage was about trust and love. Oh, I thought it was only men that wanted prenups. Why does Rihanna want a prenup? Well, she get more money than him anyway. Oh, so when Jeff Bezos made his ex-wife the richest woman in the world and through divorce, It was like, oh, she earned it. She deserved it. She deserved that money.
Did the pages turn?
That's the thing about it. It's not that there's bad people on both sides, but it's when it comes down to it, when it comes to the personal lives of us, who is the one getting affected, like literally? Like the thing about it is that, like I said before, if you're a dude, you're doing well in life. At the end of the day, it benefits a girl to be in a relationship with you because she may not be doing so well. She may just be an average worker, but you got a business. So you upped her lifestyle. And I remember some of my family members used to say this, some of the dudes in my family. They always used to say, so who needs who more? When you can answer that question, you'll know what's going on. Whenever you get with somebody, not to be superficial or to be whatever, but let's be real here. If I'm the one changing her life, then I'm the one with the more stakes at play. I'm the one with more to lose. Because if I lose all the things that I worked for when she didn't really have to work for many, like she didn't have to do as much as I did. And I believe that most relationships, especially here in the West, are, they say the West, but I'm just saying United States, Canada, dudes are mostly the breadwinners. I don't think anybody can disagree with that. Not saying women don't earn money now. They do. They do earn money now. But they still want to keep the money to themselves while letting the other dude spend his money. So that's where that statement of your money is her money is her money. And that's why these statements are created. Happy wife, happy life. Mm-hmm. Because they know that it's about keeping the woman happy. And as long as you can keep her, but you can never keep her happy because even God couldn't make her happy. So in my opinion, I believe dudes are more affected by it than the women because, like I said before, now that dating is monetized, now you can date somebody from far away. Before, Ricky, her neighbor, could have been a husband for her. But Ricky's not good enough no more. You know why? Because now Kyle, who's the CEO, DM'd her. So it's like, why would I choose Ricky when I got Kyle in my DMs?
Well, but then you put into the fact the nice guy paradigm who really tries to push his efforts, but at the same time, because she might want to, you know what I'm saying? That dude, that's the bad boy or whatever, he has more of a chance of getting her and then wasting her time. And I say this because in my opinion, I'm gonna just be honest, this is not personal, but it's like dudes that I speak to in a day-to-day, I think that they just see a lot of BS and they just like, look, yo, if something happens to me, that's my loss. There's nothing I can really do. I can't really recover from that. You know what I'm saying? I have to push hard and be about me. And when it comes to the woman, she'll have the resources, she'll have the support. The man don't have no support. So I took this analysis because, again, speaking to my friends, and then, I have certain, I would say female acquaintances where, they be like, look, I really want to get married and I want to have kids, but every dude that I bump into don't want a relationship. They want to smash. So I see the women, they like, damn, no dude want to take me seriously. It's all about my body. Why can't it be about me? So I hear that and I'm like, dad, I can see it from both angles, but the men, I feel like we not, you got to jump through mad hurdles. And it's like, you got to kiss the woman's behind. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the black community, to be real, I say this all the time, people get upset at me, but I say, yo, it's real. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. In the black community, that black woman is proliferated before the man. She is. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you say, usually you're going to say the black queen, the black goddess and all this other stuff. But as soon as the woman says the black king, the black man can, oh, why you being a pick me? Why you showing love to these bum ass NIGGAs? It's like, so a black woman can't show no care to a black man, but we always have to show support to a black woman. Now, let's flip that. Let's flip that real quick. Just real quick. Now, the context of a black man gets fed up. He goes to a white woman. He gets flack for that. Oh, you went to a white woman. Why you dealing with a white woman or a Latina instead of dealing with your own women? What, you ashamed of your mother? You ashamed of your sisters? You ashamed of black women? Why I gotta be all that? The black woman gets with the white man. Oh, sis, you get in a bag, sis. Look at you. You got yourself a white man. A black man could never.
Mr. White Chocolate, man.
You feel me?
But you know what? What
So,
I've been seeing a lot online before I started my channel is channels like black men that are really like bashing black women. Like their
yes.
channel is based on that. So making fun of black women is so normalized now that like people don't even realize that that like it is happening and it's been
But Kim,
happening.
But you know the funny part about
yeah,
it
yeah.
though is that we're all destroying each other because black people in general are at the bottom of the dating market. You could look at the Tinder statistics
Mm-hmm.
to see what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We are the least picked, least to
Mm-hmm.
get the first response. This is just Tinder. I'm not even talking about any other dating app.
That's dating
They
sites.
did a study on this, right? Now I know every study can be, well, you know, you can critique it, blah 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 blah. But we're just talking about the study, right? So, for instance, here in Tennessee, where we're at, right? We're in Tennessee. Shout out! No, I wouldn't have to say shout out. They just now passed the law about now when you have kids, they have to take a DNA test because the paternity fraud here was so rampant, they couldn't allow it. They were like, so you got to think, they just passed this law like a year ago. You got to think how many dudes were raising kids that wasn't theirs, so they decided to make a law for it. This is why in the beginning of this chat, I talked about the chance program, about evening the playing field, about the laws, because the laws favor the women too much. And now that we're going to have laws that can favor the men a little bit, now it evens up the playing field. So now it's kind of like, okay, if I get with a girl and then she does cheat on me and she has a baby with another dude, we're going to find that out on the day the baby's born. Because now we're going to have a DNA test.
Well,
Now
that's good actually.
I don't have to raise that child for 18 years, not thinking that it's mine, but it's not. Because now they made it mandatory to have DNA tests. Why did they think? I want everybody to answer this question. Why did they wait this long to make a law that benefits men? I'll wait.
I mean, I feel like men, you can always ask for a paternity test. No.
But it's offensive. If you ask her, oh, you might as well ask me for a divorce too. You don't trust me. You don't.
Yeah,
care
for
about me.
sure. It feels like the guys, because a lot of times when guys do that, it's because they have doubts. It's not just because it's cute. Let's be real. It's gonna have some. It's gonna do something. Oops, I keep knocking my mic.
Yeah, it's gonna create some.
It's gonna create some little like, okay, like. Yeah, and then what if it's you're 100% related to the baby now? The girl looking at you like,
So what? It's rather be safe than sorry.
Baby, we in here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'd rather be safe than
it's good,
sorry.
but then she's like, damn, like he has trust issues.
It don't matter.
He really
You
thought
ain't
he
supposed
really
to trust
thinking-
nobody but God.
If you ain't got nothing to hide from me, baby,
I'm sorry. I feel like this, and I ain't trying to be an asshole when I say this.
No,
I'm sorry I said this.
I'm okay with that,
But
for sure.
but Kevin, to be honest, when you in a relationship, that's like an employee at will. You feel what I'm saying? And it'll last through marriage. I was watching something the other day. Who is it? One of the Tamara sisters, Maori sisters, did her dude dirty. She was sitting up there talking about she graduated from her marriage. Now she trying to get back with homeboy. What's that about? So you had doubts within that marriage. You disrespected me for the longest time. You done found some new dude you wanted to plug out. Now all of a sudden, because stuff didn't work, now you want to get back with me? That's what I'm saying. You be with your woman. You care about your woman. You love your woman. I would never say you shouldn't. But the thing about it is, just like with anybody in any relationship you in with life, you always gotta be on the lookout.
Yeah, if you have doubts by any do it. But yeah, you're not sure how the girl is gonna feel after that. Like if you don't care, that's fine, but it might affect
the relationship.
Yeah,
but at least you're good with knowing, okay, it's 100%. Like this is my kid. Like I have no problem with that. But I know that for some women, it would be like a big like.
Well, that's why it might as well just be mandatory, so it don't be no hard feeling.
But that's why I was like, okay, so like it's fine because it wasn't a law because people can just, if they really feel like it's necessary, they can do it. It's like, it's not.
They could have did it back then.
Now it's just like no drama. Like this, we're just gonna have to do it. It's just gonna be a quick little That's it.
Yeah. It just, a lot of people, they didn't do it because
Sure.
either A, they were not aware of paternity tests, or B, they trusted their partner and didn't want to hurt their feelings,
Yeah.
or C, there was not enough education on that. It's just like, if you know about paternity tests, you take it. It's just like prenups.
Yeah, and
You
a lot
know
of women, they don't because like what I've been seeing with like those shows where it has paternity tests and stuff like that, the women often they don't even know about their cycles and stuff like that, and then they're dealing with guys that are not really their boyfriend or like husband, and like them too, they're sleeping around, but the guys, it's not like the woman gets pregnant. So it's like she has to figure out if she's sleeping with multiple men because no one's really her boyfriend, no one's really her like she's not really in a relationship, but people like to be sleeping around. If she doesn't like know her cycle and if she's not protecting herself, maybe in her most fertile week she slept with like 2 men, like beginning of the week and the end of the week, and then they don't know who's the dad, and often they're like, I don't know like who's the dad, is between 2 guys, and it's like they're not educated on their own cycle, or like, yeah, I realize is that like a lot of them don't really know how it works. Or like even some guys, they're like, oh well, we only slept one time together, like she can't be pregnant,
Exactly.
So I realized sometimes.
But here's the thing. This is why I said we need to even up the playing field. Me, I'm about getting the results. I'm about results. We could talk about issues all day, but if we're not putting in the work to change the system, then we just gotta accept.
So you got a system. He got a system. Who you gonna show that system to? So it can be as the next step.
At least like I said before, bad people are everywhere. There's no such thing as one good person. Everybody has bad traits. Here's the thing: if I'm with a girl and she don't like me after 10 years of marriage, and she like, look, Kevin, I'm tired of you. I'm ready to go be a 304. I'm ready to go pass up this punani around. I'm tired of giving it. Okay, I'm not okay. You can leave, but you don't deserve half my house. You don't deserve the car. You don't deserve this either, because you didn't pay for it. You didn't earn it. Now, if you did, it's yours. If you help me with the business, you get your keep. But the fact that they think they're entitled to
guys, we have other people that wanna. Let me see. I see.
Yeah, I think Leo was trying to get in, but
yeah.
But
We have to
be short. That's the best way to deal with this. I feel like when people know there's consequences for their bad behavior, they're least likely to do it. They're like, oh shit, I can't have no more kids after 3 baby dads. I probably shouldn't waste those 3 baby dads. I probably should get quality baby dads if I'm gonna have some anyway. I'm probably gonna get more quality if I know I can't have more than 3. You get what I'm saying? When people know there's consequences for their actions, they're less likely to do these bad behaviors. But the reason why women have been able to get away with it for so long is because people have tolerated it or accepted it or made excuses for it. Well, she's a woman. She got emotions. Y'all got to forgive them. Forgive their behavior. But if I do something wrong, they'll be quick to remind me, hey, you remember what you did? You a man. You should have never did that. They'll be always quick to remind men of their wrongdoings. But if I bring that up about a woman, suddenly I'm misogynistic. I'm this, I'm that. Why are you talking bad on us? Why don't you just let it go? You sound bitter. You sound hurt.
You sound
That's
emotional.
the reason why that these channels, these things exist. Because, like I said, until the laws change, we're going to continue this vicious cycle that we're in, both Canada and U.S. Because I know Canada is pretty toxic. I heard stories about Toronto.
Okay, we're gonna add Leo in if he's ready. Yeah, honestly.
Thanks, the mountain. You gave some good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Take care of the mountain.
Gave some good stuff.
Yo.
Hello.
Leo?
Hey, what's up, Leo?
Oh,
I saw your teeth.
Well, I didn't want to say that. I was like, it was dark. I wasn't trying to.
You must be inside the car
Man.
driving or something.
man, what y'all got some colorism issues, man. What's going on with y'all?
Hey, are you driving though? Because that's not gonna be safe.
Safe. Who cares about safety?
I think we should.
I do. Yeah.
I think we should, to be honest.
Yeah. Like,
I want to burst your
no,
bubble, brother.
yeah. Like,
No, man. So now we're gonna pretend like we on our text and drive, man. Golly.
They don't even recommend that.
I do sometimes.
I just want you to make it
Nah,
home
hold
safe,
on.
bro.
yeah.
Nah, but check this, man. I was my bad, man. I just parked, man. Don't worry. I don't want nobody to be worried, man. I just
Cool,
parked.
man.
But nah, to the man, to the young brother, I was peeping the young brother talking about, you know, coming out of shell, how to talk to women, you know, all that stuff. And you know, man, it's just one of them things. I feel like, man, in regards to that specifically, like you just gotta, man, like it's like a trial and error process. You only gonna know what works by doing and trying, and you'll figure out what works and what don't work. Like whatever sticks, keep trying it. Whatever don't, like throw it away. You know what I'm saying? And it's just every woman is gonna be a little different. So it's like you could ultimately have a few little go-tos, but it's like you just gotta get a feel for that woman and specifically like what makes her tick, what makes like some women might, you know, they like a man that can make them laugh. Some women like a man that comes off, you know, a little bit mysterious. So it's like each woman likes something a little different, but ultimately it's just like a trial and error process. And the more you do it, the more confident you'll get doing it. And so um even from different age ranges, because I'm probably a little older than all y'all. I'm 30, I'll be 37 next week. So I'm a little bit older than y'all. So it's like my thing is I feel like, man, to be honest, confidence is the ultimate trait you need with women. Cause you don't have to be the best looking, you don't have to have the most money, you don't have to have the nicest car. Like all those things help, of course. But the number one thing you need to get a woman's attention is confidence. And if you got confidence, like I got some partners who I'm talking about, you know, ain't my place to say, but they get women and plenty of them. And it's like, that's not because of how they look. It's just because they got a lot of natural charisma. They know how to talk. They know how to make them laugh. It's like, if you can make a woman laugh, usually you can get a guard down. And if you can get a guard down, then you can start to embark on a conversation that she will actually engage in, as opposed to, you know, just kind of that approach, like you're moving too fast, or like, you know, y'all said earlier, like you come off a little too strong. Like, even if your interest might be just sexual, you still don't want to portray that too much too soon. And she might even feel that same way, but just coming on too strong too early could be a turn off. So I just feel like, man, the number one thing you need when you're talking to women of any age is just confidence. Like, they can feel when you're confident and they can sense when you're not confident. And if you got that confidence, 9 times out of 10, you're going to at least be able to get some conversation started. And if you get the conversation rolling, the rest is history. It's just up to you where you take it. So
Right.
that's my piece on that. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good. That's some really good advice.
I tell dudes to have an a-hole moment. That's random. But what I mean by that is you have to have the mentality to not give an F. And why I say that is because when you have that mentality, nothing blinds you. You take away the fear you have in talking to women. Men know when there's a really attractive woman, their guards is a little bit up. And there's other men out there that just are intimidated by pretty women. And when you just don't give a damn and you just be like, I'm just going to say not say anything you want, but let's just say an event, right? You had a poetry event and you just go up to ask a simple question. Like, how did you find out about this event? And then you plug in, you know what I'm saying? Like simple questions or simple conversations. That's what I mean by a-hole moment. Stop thinking about it. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, be
Basically,
cautious of the things
yeah.
you say, but remove the fear out of it.
Another
You just gotta
thing is,
let it flow, man. You just
Right.
gotta let it flow, I feel like. And it's like,
Exactly.
one thing I always remember is like, I think they was like Kobe. Kobe Bryant was one of the best at having that next shot mentality. Like, I don't care if I miss 50 shots in a row, I'm still gonna take 51 with the same confidence that I took the first one. And you just gotta keep shooting. Don't never stop shooting. Like, you just never know. And so, of
Yeah.
course, you're not gonna hit 100% of shots, but nobody counts your misses. Like, when you all these great statistics, all the stats and the records that these folks hold, nobody counts the shots they miss. They count how many they hit, how many championships they won. They don't count how many championships you lose. So it's like nobody keeps track of your losses but you, really. So at the end of the day, if you just keep shooting, you bound to hit something, and just keep shooting. And I mean, that's just me. Like, you gotta have mentality. Like, man, I don't care. I could get rich. Just like the same thing. Like you go on a job interview, you can get turned down for 10 jobs. You got to go into that 11th interview just like you did in the first one with that same confidence. And I feel like if that mentality, you bound to win. It's just a matter of time. Like, so that's just the law of averages, though. You're not gonna hit every shot, but the more shots you shoot, the more shots you're gonna hit naturally.
Well said.
The only thing is, a lot of guys are scared of like I said, the laws, right? Because let's be honest, it's got laws in place. A lot of dudes, oh, you're a creep. I'm gonna report you. Why are you talking to me here? Blah 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 blah. A lot of dudes get publicly embarrassed. This is why I said you have to know how to read the atmosphere. You have to know how to gauge the person you're talking to, because she could be having a bad day. It's not that she would not have gave you a chance. It's just that you approached her at the wrong moment, and you're not. Because, like I said, the thing about it, guys got to understand today, girl, like I said, it's monetized, right? Girls get eggplant. I say the B word. They get that thrown in their face constantly, not literally, metaphorically. They always get induced to approach them. So it's kind of like a problem nowadays is some girls go outside and get approached 30, 40 times. They don't even have time to breathe. They just keep getting approached. That's why I said the best approach would be is go somewhere where the woman ultimately want to be approached, but then also don't have any expectations. Try to make it a more friendly vibe, because you don't know how that person may react. You don't know what, if you approach her at I don't know, Walmart or grocery store, whatever, you may approach her at the wrong time. She just didn't want to talk to nobody. She's tired of these dudes coming to talk to her all day, and then you end up getting the brunt of all that. She may end up going off on you because you just came at the wrong time. That will destroy your confidence right there. And that's why I like to say, because my approach is more subtle. I like to make it more, like I said, I want to build a natural relationship with you. Even if SCX wasn't on the table, I'd still want to get to know you as a person, if that makes sense. Okay. And I feel like that's what will create the confidence, because then, now that you know she's feeling you and you feeling her, now we can go a little bit deeper, stuff like that. And also, piggybacking off my last point, is a lot of guys, like I said today, the issue is like,
whoops, wait. I think there's somebody. There's an echo.
How's it going? Can you not hear me?
Hey. Yes.
You can't hear me. Hold on 2 seconds. I just want to say, first of all, big up you lot's thing. I'm actually joining all the way from London, but I'm joining the discourse, and I like the conversation. I like where it's going, and I like the fact that, as you guys have said in the conversation so far, obviously there's a lot going on in the dating climate across the West, as you guys have already touched on, and I think that in order for there to be a healthy bringing together of the sexes, these conversations are definitely necessary, so that the people who do want relationships with substance and the people that do want to build legacy, so to speak, can kind of separate themselves from the people that just wanna date casually. And these spaces are necessary so that people can come together with like-minded ideas and actually share this and actually speak about what's affecting people across the whole of the West. And it's not, and this is the other thing, like I go back to Africa and these places a lot during December and whatnot, and you'll be surprised, but a lot of, I know there's a lot of rhetoric online about passport bros and this and that and the third, but you'll be so surprised that some of the agenda, should we say, whether you want to call it feminism or the liberation of the female sex, etc., some of the rhetoric is far. That's, bro, my bro Leo. Let's be real. Those are the issues that are affecting the dating market in general, and that is affecting people's opinions in terms of what they actually want or feel like they want to get out of the opposite sex. So I just want to say the conversation that you guys are having is well needed in order to be able to bring together, like I said, the people who actually want serious relationships.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys joining, because I was really not sure if anyone would join. I was thinking, I was like, is anyone gonna want to join? So
y'all the real
guys.
Got a real one.
No problem. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Do you guys have anything like else? Like, so I guess we're gonna be ending the live soon, and then we definitely will be doing more. 'Cause we have a lot
Damn,
to-
I thought I was finna just get cooking over here.
Yeah,
I mean, I said like the last topic. Like, you guys are here. Let's like, we're not gonna like have others join, so like we can continue with what we have here. If there's anything you guys want to say or add or speak about, we can do that, and then.
yeah.
By the way,
And I
wanted to quickly
Pardon
address. I wanted to quickly address some of the points that Leo was saying, because again, I think he made some very valid points about having confidence as a guy and being able to assert yourself and essentially have dominance. Because again, probably unconsciously, women can kind of sense that when a guy is confident. They can sense when a guy is dominant and is able to approach them in a way in which they feel. And to piggyback off what one of the other guys said, they can. I think one of the other brothers said that his approach to women is kind of coming in, not from a friendly approach, but from an approach of let's take sex off the table kind of thing. So you're not high on heat kind of thing, because women can sense that as well. If you're high on heat and they think straight away you're just trying to have sex with them, or you're just trying to get in their pants, a lot of the time the woman's guard is going to be up. But if you come into approach where you are cool, calm and collected, again, this is like an archetype of a man that many women again grow up and aspire to want to be around. A man who's cool, calm, collected, reserved, and also knows how to say the right things and not necessarily put his foot in it, so to speak. If you can be that archetype of a man and actually embody it, because it's one thing to actually try and put the act on, but actually embody it. So sometimes that might mean you have to actually work on yourself as a man. You might actually have to go to the gym. You actually might have to read certain books, and you might actually have to put yourself around other men who are like the man you want to be, because you learn through immersion. If you can do those things, then I think you will have a lot of success. But as probably, Leo, you said you're 37, you're a bit more of an older statesman. I'm 33 myself. As you know, even getting a woman or a woman that is maybe the object of your eye, that's only half the battle itself, because keeping her is a whole nother thing. And you know this.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Keeping her is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, that's this.
So, yeah.
A point that I wanted to make on that, and here's the thing, don't get me wrong. What Leo's saying is absolutely on point. My brother, he's a trailblazer too, bro. He like, hey, what you doing, girl? Come up, pull up. Like, he can be. I have brothers that are like this, okay? But like I said, if you're like in a club environment, women love that. They love when you can dance. You're very, you move with your body. You move with confidence. You just know you got it like that. See, it depends on environment. You don't want to.
Environment make a big difference, but I ain't. Personally though, I'm not doing no dancing. I ain't doing no dancing.
I'm talking about when you at the club. See, a lot of guys try to find wives at the club. I'm like, bro, you cannot. If you're going to an environment, they're drinking drugs, they're having fun, they're getting lit. You don't want to be that guy trying to make reason. You want to join in on the fun. You want to let her know you fun too. So, like I'm saying, when you approach women, it depends on the environment you're in. You don't want to bring your club presence to Walmart. You don't want to do that. You don't want to bring that same energy you would to the club to Walmart. Because depending on environment, the women are going to be a little bit more open or more closed off. And in a club situation, they want to be approached by a certain guy, by the way. They don't want to be approached by just anyone. They want to be approached by a certain guy. But if you're that certain guy, bro, you in there, bro. You don't even gotta wait for it. Bro, she's ready, she's hot and ready right there.
They trying to find
a wife. You really, to me, it's like you really the number one thing is like you got to be self-aware to know like what's your strengths and what's your weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? Because like what's your strength might not be the next person's strength, and what's your strength you got to lean on. You got to rely on that. So it's like I'm naturally like I'm not the. Because this is the thing I noticed too. a lot of people naturally assume confidence means being loud or being trying to overcompensate to be seen the most, when in reality it's like I'm not that type of person. I'm mostly like pretty laid back, chill, kind of like, I feel like, to be honest, most of the time, especially when I was in my 20s, like a lot of the women I dealt with, it wasn't intentionally. It was just the fact that like they just found something intriguing about me simply because I was so confident just being me, and I never tried to like overdo it. So it's like I feel like once you know your skill set, you can kind of lean into that. So it's like if you're the type of person who, let's say, if you're just naturally a hell of a funny guy, then that need to be what you lean on. But if you kind of, if you're the guy that is, just kind of got the strong silent type, you got to lean on that. And it's just once you become self-aware, you know what's your strengths, what's your weaknesses, you can learn how to play into that. And then it's like the rest just gets easier from there. So, I mean, even at this point in my life, I can honestly say a lot of the women that I've dealt with, I've probably got most of them simply just by not even trying, just because they just like the vibe. Like, damn, you're very cool, laid back. I like you, and there it is. So it's like, you just don't, really can't overexert yourself too much. It's almost like you gotta approach it with the carefree attitude. Like, if you hit, you hit. If you don't, you don't. And
Yeah,
most of the time, with that attitude, they're gonna be more intrigued than you are most of the time.
yeah.
To be honest, at least in my experience.
I agree with you, Lee. I think, like you said, you come across as quite a nonchalant person, and when you attract and not chase, again, that's another thing that women can kind of sense. When you're a person that you genuinely attract good energy towards, you genuinely come across as someone who's approachable, and you genuinely come across as someone who's well-rounded. Women like, as we know, women like people who are well-rounded. So somebody who's able to have chat but not do too much, so to speak. So even when you said the whole thing of you don't dance, etc., that's because you know where your strengths lie. You're not a dancer,
Right.
and you're not a clown. So you know what your steez. There's this term in the streets people use, like steez. You know what your steez is, like you know what your level is, and you know what you can bring to the table that can make a woman be like, oh, there's something special or different about this guy, kind of thing. So yeah, I think everyone has to work out what their particular strength is, and everyone has to kind of work out what their particular emotion is. And when you know that, you can find people who will gravitate towards that. It's not every girl that's going to be for you. It's not every guy that's going to be for a girl, but you find people who match your emotion, who match your steez, and who like your particular quirks. Because that's the other thing as well, that is the whole elephant in the room that people fail to address. Yeah, everyone has got an element of quirkiness or craze to them. Like, when you're in your home by yourself, kind of thing, who you are at home, and when you go out into the world, you put on a mask. So when you're out in the world, there's a mask that you put on that people think, oh, that's Kimberly, or oh, that's Leo. But the real you, the real you, and you know that as well, that even for yourself, that the real you can be a bit much sometimes. Talk less of someone else actually walking into that and having to deal with that. So you have to find people that actually have that element of self-awareness, that element of understanding, to actually want to deal with you on that level, if that's what you're looking for. If you're just looking to bone smash and the rest of it, obviously you can keep it a bit more superficial. But if you're looking for something serious and whatnot, you're going to have to peel back those layers of vulnerability to actually let somebody in to see that side of you. And
it's the same thing when you meet a girl and she's quick to ask you for money. It's a turn off. Every guy can agree with that. If she's quick to be like, hey, cash at me $500, it's my birthday, and you just met her.
Yeah, because you know what it is.
But that's a new thing.
Advertise about putting her as a sugar daddy. I'd be like, I'm not about to be a sugar daddy.
Leo's like, I don't know. Nobody asked me that.
Leo,
did anyone ever ask you to cash app them randomly, like, and they barely?
Hell yeah! I was like, I don't know you, miss. Like, chill.
That's new. That's real new.
That's
I think that's a part of the.
I'm serious.
That's a part of the new internet, kind of like that internet culture,
sugar
social
daddy.
media, and it's like, because
over here, it's not known to do that. Like,
the term sugar daddy has always been a thing. It's just that now it's become way like this is the difference. It used to be to where if a woman was out for money from a man, she was considered a gold digger, or she was considered a like a working girl. But now it's like that's the average woman. The average woman feels like you should be paying her for her attention. but that's really a new thing because, like, let's say 10 years ago, you like that wasn't a thing. Like, wasn't no woman ask you to cash out no money, like, or send you. It wasn't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might have a girl that may be like, hey,
Yeah,
let's go out to
I
eat.
think 10 years ago it did exist, but obviously the technology's
It's-
advanced.
Yeah, now we're seeing
Technology made it
right?
more
Yeah,
acceptable.
technology's
But okay, I
technology's
have a
made it
question
more
though.
prominent.
Yeah.
I have a question though. What I've been seeing on some stuff online in the USA. Okay, you guys need to clarify this.
I'm not from USA, so I can't. But Leo and
I think it still happened in UK too, though. Now,
Okay,
like,
UK.
I've
So
been seeing some
the
stuff.
He's
question
still part
is,
UK, is still part of the West, man.
yeah, let me know.
They are. They are, bro. You all in this too, bro.
Let me know if in the UK too.
Yeah.
But okay, girls that ask you to pay their rent.
it's impossible. Impossible.
I
And
mean,
that-
I heard of that
You think
before.
impossible. Like,
I heard of that before,
I'll be honest, yeah.
which is wild as hell to me.
Does that happen? Is that normal? Is something that you guys did
That's
already?
that's not normal. But I've heard it before. Like,
It does
pay
happen.
my rent.
I've talked to girls. They've said they have dudes to help them pay their rent, but they were just telling me that about the guy that was dealing with. But in the back of my head, I was like,
No, I
man,
mean
this
the girl
guy's
is saying
actually
no. If
doing
you're
that.
not gonna pay my rent, like, I'm not going on a date with you. Like,
that.
those
I've seen
type
that
of
more
things.
online in real life. Like,
I'm
I've
gonna-
never
Really?
heard a
To
girl
be
to say.
honest-
I'm dead serious. I've never heard a girl say in real life yet, "Yo, pay my rent." Like, I've never
They might
really ever
say
heard
rent.
that.
Say, oh, you're not paying any bills or whatnot. Like,
Okay.
and they'll refer to it. Obviously, it could be their phone bill, it could be whatever. But I'll be
Really? Okay.
in the UK. That is not something that is prominent. Like, it does happen, but it's not something that, like, I wouldn't say like 70 or 80% of girls think like that.
Yeah.
I think very much it is
Yeah,
American
I
culture.
No, no.
I think that's an American
No.
kind of, and really, I think that
Yeah.
stuff kind of came from the. I'm gonna tell you when the shift started to happen. When the city girls started to become very popular, that's when the change started to happen because you started to see
Oh.
women expecting a man to give them money for whatever. So like, but I'm gonna keep it real though. Me
I say
personally,
before that.
if a woman comes at me for money, like out like early or after any fashion, I don't give a damn what it's for. I'm gonna appreciate the fact that she's doing that simply because that's just gonna let me know what box to put her in. Like, I would much rather you just come out and ask and say it, and that gives me the honest opportunity to be able to pivot away from your ass, as opposed to like wasting my time. And let's say you go on 3, 4, 5 dates over the course of a month, and then she ease you into asking for some money versus a chick who might try to ask you off money to get her time and attention from the gate. Either way,
Yeah.
I want the upfront chick, because it's like, if you just want money, let me know that, because I don't want to waste your time, because I'm not giving you no money. Like, I'm just not. And it
Yeah,
ain't.
'cause-
And to be honest, at this age, it's not even that I don't have it. It's just that shit. If I work for money, the last thing I'm finna do is let you trick it off. I'm not being financially. I'm not going to be financially responsible just so I
Okay,
can
what
give it
if
away and you
what
go
if
trick it off.
you really like the girl, like, and she's really
I don't really like no girl that
we
wants
don't really
money more
like
than
no
she
girl
wants.
like that. You can go goodbye. Like, nah, we're not doing that.
If her
What if she checks
ultimate
all the-
motivatotor,
what if she
if
checks
her
all the
ultimate
boxes
motivator is
She can
money,
have a good day.
I'm straight. Like, because to me
Goodbye.
it's like because no matter how you slice
not
it,
going.
I think now people have tried to clean it up, but really it's like, if you are out to get money from a man, you're a working girl, and it's that simple.
I
Like,
agree. That's facts.
But it'd be the most
It is what
average
it is.
chicks. It'd be the most average chicks that be online and in real life that be asking like dudes to pay their rent and be like, you better pay. And it's like, shorty, you get like 40 hours a week. If you get part-time, that's your fault. Get some more hours and get your own bread.
But that's
You know
the
what I'm
thing.
saying?
No, they don't. No, because why would they do that when there's dudes out here breaking code?
Because they're simps. Because
There's more of them than us.
that's the problem.
reason why they're confident enough to even talk.
Because some actually do it, I guess.
Yes.
Because people are approving their behavior. Social
Yeah.
media is showing us that.
But that's desperation in between that.
You gotta pay. That's basically how they letting us know. They letting us know from the get go.
Pay to play.
And now I want to answer Syllabus's question. He said, keeping a woman. If Tom Brady, Brad Pitt, Jason Momoa, and other high status men couldn't keep their women, what chances does an average guy have? And I want to say this. First. Like, here's the thing.
It's not about the.
We're yeah, I know that and that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to root off that. The thing is that you cannot compare those guys to what we're doing. We're not dealing with those types. We're not in those types of situations. We're talking about average, everyday people. People are not just going to exist. People still want love. People still want sex. People still want money. People still want a family. So regardless if those dudes are getting trained and ran over, that's on them. But that ain't got nothing to do with you. And the conversation here about guys giving up, and I say that guys give up way too quick before doing the work on themselves. Like I said in the beginning, self-improvement. Everything that you guys have said was great advice. Like, guys need to take time to realize we're not perfect. We have to sit down and work things out with ourselves first before we try to bring somebody else in. But if everybody thought like what Sylvana says, it's like if everybody thought that way, trust me, nobody would be in a relationship. Everybody would have said, "Oh, forget it, bro." Like we just all coexist.
Yeah, if Beyonce got cheated on and Shakira, why even try?
But this
Why
is
should
the
women
thing
try?
as well, though. I think we have to temper expectations with a dose of realism. And what I mean by that is, you see in life, yeah, whether we like it or not, yeah, bad things are gonna happen. And in relationships as well, whether we like it or not, bad things are gonna happen. Things that you didn't anticipate. You might deal with stuff like, you know, your woman might be getting through premature menopause. You might deal with stuff like cancer. You might deal with all kinds of serious things, yeah, that can happen in a relationship that could mess up your sex life or mess up the interaction that you and this supposed man or woman that you guys have committed to each other, that could mess up your union to the point where you might go through a season where things are not right or things are not what you deem to be right or to be a happy home. And you kind of have to deal with it. And I don't know if you guys have known, but obviously a good high profile case to highlight that is Michelle and Barack Obama. Yeah. I remember seeing Michelle on one podcast. Yeah. And she was just like, there was a season that her and Barack went through where they just like couldn't stand each other for like 2-3 years. They just couldn't stand each other. But they came through the other side and they still tried to put up this united front, as they did, of a strong black family who loved each other. And I don't know everyone else's situation and whatnot, but one thing I'll say that even with my own parents who are still together after being married after 35 plus years, I've personally witnessed and seen that there's seasons where they did not necessarily like each other, but they understood that, as with many things in life, this is temporary, it will pass, and you kind of move through it. So when it comes down to highlighting, okay, this person cheated on this person, Beyonce had this situation with Jay-Z or this person, we're looking too much to the outside and we're not being realistic about what life actually is. And that's that people are going to make mistakes, and sometimes you have to find your best way to navigate those mistakes and go back to be centered with the actual values that you yourself want to embody. So if you're trying to do the whole till death do us part thing, you have to remember why you got married, what your non-negotiables are, and firm certain things. And in this generation, we're too quick to, I'm not saying that people should forgive people cheating left, right, and center. I'm not trying to make an excuse for that. But I'm just trying to say that in relationships, sometimes things will go left and you kind of have to just endure till you get to the other side where things get better again. Because life is up and down.
I agree. And nobody, that's the thing, guys got to understand, nobody's forcing you to be in a relationship. We're not here to tell you to have to be in one. This is the dudes that want to be in one. If you don't want, I said this, the people who want to have fun, they be in their own park. The people who want to do something serious, they have their own part. The problem is we combine the part together and we're all mismatching, getting around each other when we should not. This person should not even be in the same park as you. This person's out here doing their thing, getting bodies, getting a higher body count. This person's out here trying to put a ring on somebody. You can't put these two people in the same part. They're two different people, and it'll be two different areas. And I feel like that's the part that's a struggle, is because you're coming out here dealing with strangers you know nothing about. So you just gotta use your common sense and your luck, and hopefully you get somebody that's in that park with you. But I think that that's something that maybe moving forward in the future, if we want to have more relationships, we can create these spaces. Hence why Pop the Balloon was created. This was the root of its creation, because they made a show where the people are on there looking for love. Now we know that is not what they're on there for. That show is toxic. But the premise of the show made sense because you had people. What's that dude that was on the kid TV show? He was like I forgot the name of the channel.
The light skinned dude with the
the dark skinned dude.
Oh, was Goofy too? Was it that guy?
No. On the Pop the Balloon.
I can't.
He was a guy on a TV show. I'm like, a dude of this level, what is he doing on Pop the Balloon? That just goes to show you that a lot of people don't really have room or time to meet each other because their schedules are so busy. Like, you're working so much. When do you have time to meet anybody? Unless you're going to these bad environments like the club.
I think someone in the chat earlier said it, yeah, and I agree with them. This was before I joined. I was reading the chat, yeah. In reality, you can meet people anywhere. You can meet them at the gym. Someone said it. You can meet someone at the mall. You can meet them at the supermarket. Sometimes we put these, I think sometimes we even try to scare ourselves out of, like approaching certain situations. Every day we wake up here, we're doing life, meaning like everything is life. So there's always an opportunity every day you wake up to meet someone and to have an interaction with someone. It might be on what we call the tube, you guys call the subway. It might be on that. So I just think sometimes, yeah, part of, like I said, taking time as a guy and as a woman to know yourself and be assured in yourself is understanding that no matter what situation you kind of go in, as long as you're assured about yourself, you can show up as your authentic self and have an authentic interaction with someone. And that person might want to date you as a result of that. When we start thinking, yeah, we can only meet someone in the club or on an event, online and things, we box each other in, and that's what. And it's in that same boxing in, is in that same environment is where you're basically trying to say all the toxicity is, and that is exactly why, because people go there to kind of put on a facade. Like when you go into the club and whatnot, people doing champagne showers, people like popping bottles on the sections and whatnot. It's all a facade. It's all for show. You feel me? But the reality is the people who are just living life day to day and are moving normal through life, they meet people in everyday situations. And they're the ones that you hear all these crazy stories about of how they met someone innocuously and now they've been together 5, 6, 7, 10 years.
Let me add on to that real quick. One of the statements that I always say to my homies, because sometimes my homies be down and out, and I always tell them, you can't have a hardened heart. You have to really just be open to what you can receive, and you just have to be like, wary. Like, of course, you just gotta know like who's meant to vibe with you. There's a lot of people, we have to go off that energy bit too. You know what I'm saying? Like
intuition.
Intuition. Like seriously, because a lot of people will be like, you can't really vibe with somebody, your subconscious never lies to you. You know what I'm saying? And too many people out here that I've known of, and like the dudes that be like, man, screw dating. I don't want to deal with dating. It'd be like, you can't let a past experience determine your presence to what could be in your future. And that's the problem with a lot of dudes.
Sometimes people let other people's experience determine their future. Like when we're talking about, this happened to this person and this happened to that person, you're letting someone else's lived reality determine yours without you actually having any skin in the game.
You gotta keep it simple. I said, is that you?
So I have a question for you guys, for everyone. What do you guys look for in a woman, like for you to be like, yeah, she checks these boxes? Like, let's say top 3 things that you need to see, or like, a couple dates or whatever, just like the ideal partner to you.
I think most guys will probably agree that they're looking for, like, beauty and attraction is 100% always going to be the number one thing. So it's someone that you're attracted to, or that you can make.
Hold on. I'm going to say it depends. And this is why I say that. Because in a lot of different situations, it could just differ. Like, for example, if I'm talking about like the qualities I might be looking for in a woman and I'm just trying to vibe with, it's going to be different from the qualities I'm looking for when I'm trying to settle down and really build.
From a generalist perspective, Leo.
I'm saying that you want to be like, this girl is worth
turn
That's
of the
cute.
From a
relationship.
generalist perspective, Leo, if they said, okay, you build
Man,
your ideal woman, what are you putting in your top 3?
I'ma
Yeah, like
say, I'm man, to be honest, and this gonna sound a little crazy, but this real game. And I remember like when I was young, one of my partners, his daddy told us both this. We was probably like 10 or 11. And this one thing I love about when you put good game out there. Sometimes people will give you game that you might not even quite be ready for yet, but as long as you hold on to it, you can always come back to it when you need it. So like a lot of stuff that people put on me at 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, yeah, I was way too early, but it's like once I got to the point where I needed it, I could always reference back. So like one of the things I remember my partner's daddy telling us when we were real young, he was like, man, one thing you always need to look for in a woman is make sure you find a woman that can listen. And at the time, it's like, we kids, like, what the hell is he talking about? But as I got older and older and older and older, you start to see like qualities like that is what real deal makes a good woman. Like if you got a woman that don't know how to listen, I don't give a damn how good she look. I don't give a damn how much money she got. I don't care what she brings to the table. If she can't listen, I'm straight. I'm
what do you
what's
mean
your
by
straight.
listen? What do you mean by listen? Like
Like be able to like, cause okay, let's
take
say for
advice
example.
and instruction?
There's
Yeah.
a difference between hearing and listening. I'll be saying that.
Right. So I'm saying, like, if we're having a conversation, I don't want a woman that's just going to be responding out of reaction as opposed to actually comprehending information. Like, I want someone who's going to be looking to comprehend, not just looking to respond. So even if whether we're having a discussion about what to eat or whether we're having a heated battle about, something that happened, it's like we have to be able to communicate, and this is the natural structure. The man is supposed to lead. That's natural. Anything else is unnatural. So you can end up in a weird dynamic because you might, especially now, a lot of women or girls now are they have such a strong personality. They like to be so aggressive, and they're not realizing they're operating a lot of times outside of their natural state. And so that's where a lot of these weird power struggles and power dynamics come up, because it's like they're like, it's not like this one of my favorite sayings. The power in being a woman is not being in competition with a man. It's embracing and embodying the qualities that a woman was designed to have, and vice versa for a man. I don't want to be trying to battle to be a woman when I'm a man. So why the hell is a woman trying to battle me to be a man? Like, your strength and your real power is in being feminine and being a woman. And the real power of a man is in being masculine. So when it comes to like leading, a man is generally supposed to be able to lead. And so when I say listen, I mean in any area. Like, and this goes back to knowing our strengths and weaknesses. There are going to be some areas where a woman is going to excel. Women are naturally going to be more compassionate. They're naturally going to be more nurturing, things of that nature. However, on the flip side of that, if they don't embrace those qualities, then that's when the dynamic starts to get weird. So like, it's just like when I say listen, I mean on any level, like whether it
Yeah.
just be a
I
simple
think
conversation or a heated battle. If you got a woman who don't want to listen, like if she wants to battle and over talk you and all, like it's a recipe for disaster every single time. So
what's your
for
attitude
me
then, Leo?
personally,
What would you say are
say,
your
oh,
attitude?
okay. So I'm gonna say a woman who gotta be like, one gotta listen. And it's another one I got from one of my partners' dads. He's probably like 70 some years old. And he said this some years ago, and ever since it changed my perspective. He was like, man, you want me to tell you the key to really having a good relationship, man, you gotta like who like you. Because if you don't like who
Word.
likes you always gonna be working and chasing to catch them. So it's like, let's say for instance, you shoot your shot at, let's just say a supermodel, for example, and you end up hitting the shot. She engaged with you. Well, now guess what? Now you got to figure out how you can keep this up. How you gonna keep this woman? Because it's like if she views herself as she's the ultimate catch, then she's gonna always feel like you got to chase. Whereas if your pick is someone who really has picked you already, or someone who likes you, that cuts down half the work. Like you
But
don't
that's
have to
more.
you don't
Would
have
you
to
not
do
say,
as
Leo?
much to try to.
Would you not say that's more on you rather than a quality that she has? You like you because you have to use again discernment to say, okay, I'm gonna go for who likes me rather than the girl that I want because she's sexy or because she's whatever.
Aim low and hit.
I think it could be a little bit of both, because you got to be able to identify that, but also it has to, like, to me, that's a quality. Like, is she attracted to me? Is she vibing with me? Like, if she's attracted to me already, if she's feeling my vibe already, it's like you don't gotta work, you don't gotta do all that extra shit. Like, this is just perspective. And this is my life. I live this. Some of the same chicks or women that dudes will be trying to, man, let me fly you, let's go to vacation, let's do this, let's go here, let me spend this on you, spend that on you, man. These are the same chicks that I'm finna dust off on a dirty couch somewhere. Just like, so it's just perspective. Like, it's like, if you really like, it's just a matter of what you want. Like, if you don't mind having to constantly chase, that's cool. But if you don't want to constantly be in that position to where it's like a woman who can really come into your life and make it like easy, make things better, it's going to be a lot easier if the woman if she already likes you without you having to do too much or putting on a show, doing too much. Like, and it's not to say you don't want to treat a woman, but I don't want me treating her to be the ultimate thing over me as a person. So if she's already vibing with who I am,
like you as like for who you are.
Yeah, like all that extra, you ain't got to spend all that money. You ain't got to.
What's the third thing then, Leo? You would say that you need from a woman?
Let me see. That's a damn good one.
Put on that game, son. Put on that game, son.
I mean, to be honest, I like a woman with a decent sense of humor. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. I like a good sense of humor because I have a very like dark sense of humor. Like, the stuff I find funny or stuff I'm entertained by, the average person might not be. So it's like, I really like somebody who got a decent sense. Not no goofball, you know what I'm saying? But somebody who can laugh and like not take stuff too serious. Even if it's a joke, even if it's a joke about you, can you laugh at it? Like, without getting all uptight, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I think like a good, healthy sense of humor is definitely good, because you can laugh stuff off even in the midst of chaos.
Yeah. That's good. And anybody else has their three? Because those are good. Those are really good. Honestly.
I don't know. I usually be all over the place, but I'm gonna just say my piece, right? So I be saying like respect, relative, and loyal. Honestly, I'm just very simplistic. I'm complex my damn self, but I know like what is it that I want from a woman if I did want to really be in a relationship and get married to that woman. It's because it's simple. It's like, look, everything we saying here right now, the catalyst of a woman, she gotta already know she's feminine. She gotta already know she has a feminine characteristic that she learned from her mother. That's why I find it so weird. You have these older chicks that be talking about, oh, I gotta learn to be feminine. Like you like in your 20s and 30s, like you should know what femininity is. It's not a math puzzle. Like, a man knows he's masculine. If a man don't know he's masculine, that's sad. You feel what I'm saying? So when it talks about respect, it's just about respect me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can go over the whole thing about, talking and listening. Like the brother said, you know what I'm saying? Like, hearing and listening is two different things. When you hearing, you just waiting to get your response in. You're not taking in all the different things that your man said to understand where he's coming from, comprehend it, and feed it back to him with your projections or what you want to rebuttal as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's hearing and listen, but that goes with respect. Because you got to respect your man. And that's what I look for in a woman. Now, when I talk about relative, it's about being able to have an interest in something. It's weird if you want to date a person that you have no interest in and y'all can't have an interest on something. You have to. I wouldn't care if it's a TV show or you like art or that person. I just find it weird. Like, y'all don't have nothing in common and y'all dating. I don't know how that works. Maybe it's just me. I don't know how that works. Like a couple that's together and y'all don't have no interest that y'all like together. Like, even food. You're like, well, you like pizza, I like pizza. That's a common interest, right? So then we talk about loyalty. That's it and that's all, which is a loaded gun. Because I understand that sometimes, or a good amount of time in relationships, people get bored. So then they just be like, oh, well, I want to see another person secretly, or they're mentally cheating on their partner. That's a loaded gun to me. But loyalty as in, like, I respect my man, I'm with my man, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something you going to disrespect me out there in public, or you might do something wild, like flirt with another man in front of my face or something crazy like that. That's wild, disrespectful. Loyalty calls for you, and it requires the element of respect in that too. Loyalty requires that. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that's my 3. Like, I just, that's where I'm at with it. You know, it's those qualities that mean a lot that I would want.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, to be fair. And there isn't many a man that will say they don't value loyalty. Like, we're very territorial people. We're very much people who, as I said, we want to exert our dominance and kind of show to the outside world that, you know, this is our tribe, this is our clan kind of thing. So it's natural that you would value loyalty. And I think that's what separates the wheat from the chaff in terms of a strong woman and a woman who might, you know, show signs of weakness, meaning she could be tempted away by another man or be tempted away by other opportunities, or the grass being greener on the other side. And I know earlier in the call you guys were talking about the divorce laws and all these other things. So those are fears that, again, a lot of men have. So they want to have somebody who is not going to pull the rug from under their feet. So I agree with a lot of the things you said. In terms of my own personal 3 things that I would, you know, are non-negotiables for me. Again, as with many a man, I definitely value physical attraction. So it has to be somebody that I'm attracted to and that can sustain my attraction. I think when you lead with that, first and foremost, you know that you're less likely to put yourself in compromising positions where, again, either yourself or the woman can be tempted away by somebody else's gaze. At the end of the day, we're human, we're carnal people. Physical attraction matters a lot. So that's going to be number 1 for me. Number 2 for me is probably something that I think Leo said, but he didn't include it in his top 3. But he said the whole vibe about women being nurturing and in touch with their feminine side, so to speak. So I need somebody who is able to embody that and is cognizant of why that is important to bring into the relationship, because there is a defined role for both the man and there's a defined role for the woman. So you need somebody who's in tune with that, who's aware of that, and who's going to bring that to the forefront of the relationship. And then I would probably say the third thing I need is somebody who's worldly. And what I mean by that is I want someone who is on the same mental plane as me. So someone who's not ignorant about the world, someone who's not ignorant about how people live in different parts of the world, somebody who, again, I'm on a call here with a lot of Americans and whatnot, but one of the things that a lot of British people hate, or they say they hate about Americans, is that some Americans, not all, but some Americans tend to be boxed in, and all they know is America. All they know is their town or how the people in their town live, but they don't necessarily know how people live in different parts of the world, and they don't know the ideologies of people in different parts of the world. So I'd need somebody who's worldly in that capacity, can have those kind of conversations, in addition to being exposed to being exposed to different people in the world, because that's also how you learn more about yourself and how you interact with the world. So those 3 things are important to me.
That's a fact.
Wow, guys, thanks for sharing.
I'm about to flip the question to the lady, though. What do you look for in a man? Your top 3.
Me, my top 3 is I have like a couple, but I'm trying to put them on the top 3. So me, I'm really big on, like, I need someone who is reliable. And when I say reliable, a lot of people think, okay, well,
you need a workhorse.
Huh? No. Some guys are like, okay, I've been the reliable guy. I'm not saying a reliable guy, but let's say I'm with someone in a relationship. I need him to be reliable, so that is consistent with, like, me being, like, just for me to feel secure with him. So I know, like, okay, it can be for little things, like, okay, you said you'll be able to do this tomorrow. I don't want to be like, oh my God, with this guy, I never know. Maybe tomorrow when I call him, he's gonna be like,
So you need a man of
yeah, I can't.
honor, basically, a man of honor, or a man of his word.
Yes, like I feel like that's hard to find sometimes. Like, let's say in relationships, sometimes I'm like, this is the thing that pisses me off the most. Like, it could be simple things that I never like told the guy to do. Is the guy said it himself. But I guess guys sometimes they want to impress and say, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, or like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna make sure this is done. But like, if you're gonna say stuff, like you better do it. Because me, that's really gonna turn me off if you're saying one thing, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be this, and then yeah, things can happen. But I mean, when this happens too much, where this is a thing where now you're just unreliable. You're like, okay, I just never know.
And the second thing?
The second thing is loyalty. Like, someone that's gonna be, I don't want to be worrying about like if he's gonna go like see other people or behind my back or do some weird stuff. So that's also with like being honest with me, because like if I know things can happen where someone you're dating or whatever is gonna see somebody else, or like is interested in somebody else. Or like I even had this fear when I was younger, like imagine, because sometimes things can change, right? Feelings can change. Like let's say you're married to someone, and then I see stories around me where like guys like do stuff with their coworkers, or like go back to an ex, and then me in my head I'm like, I don't think a guy would be honest enough to tell the girl that they're with like that they have these desires, or that they maybe already did it. You know what I mean? So these are some things that I'm like worried about sometimes. I'm like, I just want to be sure, but you can never be sure. Like, so I guess with some past experiences that I had, I maybe had some trust issues, like in relationships, like in the beginning, like, but it's mostly like I know it's me, like the person never really showed that. But then like I don't want to feel like with this guy it's possible, like I can tell like he's like he doesn't have discipline, he's like all over the place. So I guess that's like three things, like trust, loyalty, and discipline, I guess. But I guess it all goes together to me in number 2. And for the third thing, I like a guy with a good sense of humor. I like to laugh. I like to be. You said you don't like goofball, but me sometimes I can be a goofball. Like.
Nah, when I say goofball, I mean like somebody who don't know how to turn it on and off when it's time. You know what I mean? Like don't know the settings and the environments, because obviously every situation is not the same. So like
don't be too serious now.
No,
I get it.
Like you gotta be serious when it's time, but like we can make jokes and have fun, but it's gonna be a time we have to be serious. So I don't want somebody who wants to joke so much that I don't like. You don't know when to turn it on.
There's a time. Sometimes that could be annoying. That could be annoying. But yeah, me honestly, the number one is that because that's what turned me off the most in like anything. Like even men in my father, my brothers, like that would piss me off so much. I'm like, why do you guys do that? Like sometimes it's cool to like say, yeah, I'm gonna do this, because you feel like you accomplished it by saying it, and like you're making the person feel like, oh yeah, really gonna do this. It doesn't have to be anything big. I said like anything crazy.
Yeah, I heard that. I think
I gotta drop down, guys. Thanks for the conversation, y'all.
Love, brother, man.
Much love. Hope y'all have another panel again, man. Peace and love, man. Salute.
All right, peace.
Yeah, my boy, man. I ain't hear from the guys, man. What y'all looking for in the ladies, man? Y'all
you not trying to
yeah, you guys are real quiet.
What's going on?
Y'all talk, man.
Man, we ain't trying to take over the show, man. Y'all the show.
These, man, check this, man. These two of my young guys. That's the whole reason why I tapped in, man. These my young guys, man. I endorse these guys, man. These two of my young partners that I like to work on.
I'm gonna have to subscribe to your channel, man. I'm gonna have to subscribe to you.
I appreciate it, man.
These two of my young guys, man. It's a mutual exchange because they teach me and I teach them, but I take pride in being like a big brother to these guys. So I know they got some good stuff to say, man. What y'all guys got, man?
I'm pretty simple. It's like mine would be like respect, reciprocation, and being open minded. I just think for reciprocation, respect is already given. You know, that's already, you know, everybody should know about that. But for reciprocation, I feel like nobody likes one thing to be one sided when you put in all the effort into something and you feel like your efforts is not being taken accounted for, and you don't want to feel like you have to keep chasing that person to notice in order if you feel like you feel like you can be validated
Yeah,
and
that's
like
real.
in your wants and your desires and stuff like that. So I feel like that's very important to have in a partner, and also being like open minded, like you open to things, you're open to learn. And like what Leo said, she, you know, she's open minded, she's willing to listen what you have to offer in order to like, you know, put in forth an effort, like, you know, this is the set things that you want, and you're able to at least try to attempt to do it, you know, in order to, you know, to establish that good foundation in your relationship.
Mm.
Okay.
What about your good brother to your right? Well, you're left. You're left. All right on the screen.
Man, you know, mine is gonna be a bit weird. And
Kevin,
I'm
been
gonna say
quiet.
there's one that Kim said that actually relates to the one I was actually gonna say. And I was gonna go, I'll say the first one is respect. Definitely. There has to be a mutual respect between you and her. There has to be a respect. She has to have enough respect for you to respect your thoughts, your opinions, your movement, the way you move in life, whatever you're doing. She still has always maintains that respect for you. That's number one, because I feel like that's most important for any man. Number two is honesty. Honesty versus loyalty. And I'm gonna say honesty because when she's honest, that means even when she's doing you wrong, she's gonna tell you. Or she's gonna have enough empathy to be like, you know what, I can't be doing him like this. This is killing me on the inside. I gotta tell him. Because I've had a friend who was with the girl for a long time, didn't know she was cheating until she told him. She told him, yes. I know y'all surprised. She came out of her mouth and told because she loved him. So she knew that this would probably hurt him if she didn't say anything. So she told him. But he still broke up with her. But still, it's the honesty that matters. It's the honesty that matters.
She
Because
couldn't take it anymore. She's like, I can't sleep at night.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's because you could be loyal to somebody, but you're not being honest with them. You don't really like them, but out of loyalty, you'll just stay with them.
Yeah, that's why I was like loyalty, but then I was like, actually, like honest, because also like they can be
Because
truthful
people
with this.
change. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real here. We're people. We change. We grow. So here's the thing. I don't mind if we both like what's the thing they like to say? We grew apart or something like that.
Yeah. A lot of people will stay with someone because they're like, oh no, like I don't love her anymore. I don't
But
like I
I
don't
feel
feel,
bad.
but I can't leave them. Like they need me, or they this and or they're going through this already, so I'm not gonna. I'm like, damn, that would hurt me even more to
Exactly.
think like this person like is like forcing themselves to stay with me for whatever reason because they feel bad.
Or they want to show to everybody they're still a good person. Like, look at me, guys.
Yeah, they
I
feel
stay with
like
my girl, but
damn.
it's killing you on the inside. I'd rather a girl be honest.
No, my bad, y'all. Hold on, my bad. I'm green. I ain't I'm not the super tech savvy guy. I'm over here reading some of these I just figured out how to look at the
Really? No, sometimes I have to like keep it together when I read these some comments. I'm like,
Man, I don't know who's that. Hustle Bunny TV said, "Be able to shut up."
Yeah, that's when you were talking about listening.
Fam say, "Be able to shut up." In a nutshell. But my bad. That was funny. I'm from Missouri, the Show Me State. That's me too. I'm from Missouri, baby.
Someone was chatting to you, Kim. Someone said, "Oh, we know ladies have got huge checklists just free."
Oh, I saw that one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mia was going in like, and I'm the one who said 3.
And my last one would be accountability. A woman who's okay. There's a competition between the last 3. I wanted to say positive or accountability, but I feel like they both kind of coincide. A woman who has a positive mindset. Well, what I mean by that I'm not saying that she's always sunshine and rainbows all the time. She has her bad days, but she's always accountable. And what that means is, even when she's not perfect, she'll let me know, like, babe, I'm tired today. I can't cook. I can't do this. Okay, cool. We'll go order something. Don't try to lie to me. As the key that I want to avoid here, be as like, even when you're feeling bad, I want you to be honest with me, which goes back to my second point. But the accountability part, let's say we don't work out. You don't try to destroy me. You don't try to be like, it's your fault I never went anywhere in life. It's your fault I didn't do this. You can hold yourself accountable. You're like, you know what? Even though we didn't work out, Kev, I still have love for you. I still this, I'm still that. Because a lot of girls in the past, I'm still cool with them today. Because I try to always end with them on a good note. I never try to leave a bad blood, because I can end up into some serious stuff later. I always, even if we don't work out, I still want us to always like have this. Like I said, that's why respect was number one. Because even when you don't like your enemy, you can still respect them. There's still lines you won't cross because you have that respect. And I feel like that's very important. Now I know these are like kind of like masculine type qualities if you really think about it, but I feel like it can apply to both in my opinion. But that last point, the reason why it's so important is because we're sitting here talking as if relationships don't fall apart. They do. Eventually people grow apart. Eventually it's rare that people stay together for a long time. But I think what's healthy moving forward, and I feel like a lot of people can learn from this, is that even if you don't like somebody, eventually, like y'all was together, y'all don't kind of like each other no more, then that's when people get nasty with each other. That's when they start doing bad behavior. They start dissing people on public and slapping. I feel like if you know something's getting to a point where we both can't withstand it, let's both be accountable and move on with our lives. And I feel like if a woman has that, I've met women that do have this quality. It's rare, but they have it. They don't become bitter. They don't try to like destroy you because they couldn't have you. They like look at it as, you know what? You're right. I'm moving on. Because I know it sounds easy what I'm saying. A lot of people can't do that. Like they feel like once I'm with you forever. You better not ever leave me. You better not ever do this.
Yeah, that's obsession though. That's obsession.
Yeah. But a lot of people feel, even without obsession, people feel like whatever they put their time and money into, they want to get the benefits out of it. They want to still benefit off of it. They don't want to feel like they wasted their efforts. And that's why I'm saying I come at life with the expectation that I know some people, especially because I'm a man, and women, I know that some women will let me down. I know they're not always going to keep their word. I know they're probably going to cheat. I know they're probably going to be talking. I know because there's a lot of temptations out here. But just when you deal with me, just be honest. Just be upfront. Just be honest. I mean, I'm going to find out a way if you're lying anyway, but I want to give you the chance to be honest with me. So that way I don't have to pull out my blade and we get toxic. I'm giving you the chance. Be honest with me. Even if you don't want me, I'd rather you tell me that than lead me on and drag me through all this BS when you really didn't even want. I don't want you to feel like I'm forcing you to be anywhere. Just be accountable for what you're doing. If you want to be here, you want to be here. If you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here. So I guess to sum it up, respect, honesty, and accountability.
That's good. Well, thanks, guys. This was interesting. This actually went like way better than I thought for a first live like this, when we're collabing. Shout out to K&M Live.
Shout out to y'all, man.
You have your soundboard. Do you have any like applause?
Oh, a regular. Oh, I thought you. Oh, like a regular clap? No, I don't think I got a regular.
Anyways, but yeah, so yeah, we'll be doing more of these. It's nice having you guys joining in. So, Leo, you were from K&M Live's channel, right? You were a subscriber?
Yeah, these are my young partners, man. These like my little brothers. So I just want to say,
we all
man.
And
Yeah.
I didn't get your name, the one that's under me here from UK.
AY is my name.
Oh, AY.
I'm actually from your channel. Actually, I think I discovered you came up on my algorithm a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
yeah,
cool.
randomly I was on YouTube. I was actually on I was just watching a separate video from a separate channel, and I just saw that you guys went live, and I clicked in.
Yeah, I'm happy you guys joined. Like, it makes it more interesting, when you have like other perspectives and like opinions and like experiences that you guys are sharing. So I really appreciate the fact that you guys joined.
Happy to contribute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, greatly
appreciate y'all
appreciate
adding
it,
me,
man.
man. I was, I wasn't even thinking I was gonna be on this, but that was I appreciate it.
We have you parked. We have you parked.
Yeah, I pulled over. I
You
had
could
to
have
pull
been
over to tap
home.
in real quick.
Just on a separate one, randomly, K&M, I see the Niger flag in the background. Are you lot Nigerians?
No, that's me.
That's you. You be on
Yeah.
Niger?
Nah, just born here, but my folks. I went to Nigeria like beginning of last year, January.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
It was cool, man. It was a lot of places. I went to the village, and I was in the city in Lagos.
Yeah, not just lit, man. You need to start making that a regular occurrence, man.
Man, I got a passport about 2 or 3 years ago, and I ain't stamped it not once yet.
You
And I
need
gotta
to
get out of
start.
here.
That's what I'm
No
telling you. This is what I
way.
was saying about being worldly. This is exactly what I mean, Leo. You need to be flying out there. Flying out. I'm telling you, there's a big world out here.
I'm already knowing. I'm talking about. I'm trying to, what they say, I'm trying to come like one of them passport bros, man. What's
That's
going
it,
on?
man. That's
Hey,
it.
I got
Flying in and out.
Get that flight, bro. Get that flight. Yeah.
That's it, man. That's good, man.
Now, I'm originally from here, so I just, you know what I'm saying, these guys got ties to other countries and stuff, but I'm originally from here. I'm born and raised in Tennessee. So I just, I didn't start doing like traveling a good amount until I got a little bit older and started like traveling, doing music and entertainment. So I'm what you might call a late bloomer, man.
That's
Yeah, it
good.
makes
Though,
sense.
still. At least you got your passport.
That's it.
And
And there's no time like the present, man, to fly in and out. See what this world's got to offer.
Fact.
That's another good point for the guys who feel like they give up. I'm like, look, exhaust all your options. If your town sucks, go to another city, go to another country, go somewhere where you might find people who really relate to you. Because no matter what you're into, there's somebody who's going to relate to you. I mean, women wise, right? There's going to be somebody there that's willing to adhere to your interest. I feel like a lot of guys give up too easy. They're like, well, if you can't win in America, you can't win anywhere. I'm done. I'm out of here. And I'm like, bro, you guys are literally limiting yourself. I know a guy like this. There's guys out here who really do limit themselves. Like there's a bigger world out here, dude. Like even me, when I grew up, I didn't think the world was on fire outside the United States. Literally, if you click on the news, there's always somebody getting kidnapped, terrorism. It's like, man, why would I want to leave US? But as you get older, you start to realize, they're trying to keep us trapped here. They're trying to scare attack, like fear monger you into like just forcing yourself to be in a corner. So if there's something that any guys that were listening could take from this, exhaust all your options before you give up. There's always another way, or at least that's the way I like to look at it.
Man, giving up ain't even no option, man. Don't give up. Period. Ain't no giving up. Giving up ain't, as a man, you ain't never supposed to have that quit in you. As a man, I don't give a damn what it is. You ain't never supposed to have that quit in you.
Facts.
There's an old school African proverb, one that my dad used to say a lot, just to piggyback off what you said, and it goes, a prophet is not loved in his own town. And basically that piggybacks off what you said, because sometimes in your immediate environment, no one might be fucking with you. But if you go somewhere else, now you come with novelty. Now there's something unique about you. And people might want to gravitate towards that because you're different from the people that's around them. So, I definitely agree with not settling.
You gotta go find your audience, find your people. And if one thing will teach you that is business, because you could have let's say you have a product or service and it might bomb, but you can go to a city or a town 20, 30 minutes away, and your same product could boom. So it's
Yeah.
just a matter of finding your audience, finding your people to connect with you or connect with what you bring to the table. And so that's with
Yeah.
anything. Like you just gotta find your audience, find who, you know what I'm saying, find who appreciates you, find what people who like what you bring to the table. Like you gotta go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it.
Okay.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
Another
That's good. Okay. Well, you guys have some good points here, and yeah. So I am gonna have to end the stream since I'm the host, because yeah, I have some things to do. But yeah, I really like the way it went today, and for sure we'll be doing more lives like this, and hopefully you guys will be tuning in
Oh yeah.
whenever you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out your channel. I'm gonna subscribe to your channel too. I'm gonna check it out.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Should we end it on a quick socials where everyone can be found in socials?
Yeah, right. I don't know if we can change, or is it too late to change the? My first time using the, or else I can put it in the chat. So on social media, well, on Instagram, I'll put it in the chat.
Mine is the exact same as the name right now. I don't even know how to
So
type
is mine,
on it, but
actually.
mine is just
Okay,
mine
it's
is
the
literally
same way.
just put an @ sign in front of Leo, @Leo_Dynamite. Simple.
Cool.
Likewise, we're the same over
Yeah, mine is the same as well.
Okay, so yeah, it's just me. All right, I put it in the chat. All right, guys. So I hope you have a good night, and thank you so much for joining. And thanks, K&M Live, for reaching out for us to do this collab together. And yeah, we're gonna do many more lives, different topics, because we have a good thing like going on. Like it's easy, it's natural, and yeah, I'm happy about it.
Awesome. Peace out, people.
All right, man. Take care.
Take care.
Take
All right,
care.
man.
Bye
Y'all
bye.
take care. AY, I'm trying to stamp that passport, fam. What's up?
Stamp it, bro. Stamp it. Come to London. Come to London. I'll host you. Come London. Come London.
Say less. Say
Come
less.
London.
I'm gonna tap in with you, bro. I'm gonna follow you on social media.